particles don't have a beginning. Appreciate that, sunglasses. Thank you so much. But this would become like prior to the Big Bang.
But so the universe basically has existed for those particles
Have existed for eternally. Yeah, the same way God exists eternally.
But don't you come like into an infinite regress, or how you call it then?
No, because this is the prime mover. Infinite regress isn't like a contradiction. It's possible, right? But this argument is even assuming that it's impossible, right? Because I don't even like to have the conversations about like whether or not infinite regress is possible in live. It's just not really relevant.
I'm gonna Google that right now, bro.
Yeah, can you give me the contradiction with infinite regress? Appreciate the coral. Thank you so much. Appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You'd have to like reject the concept of infinities, which you don't do. I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much, Trav.
Well,
W Trav in the comment section right now. W Trav. Thank you for the hearts as well. I appreciate it.
Basically, what they're saying is that's pretty critical to have that view.
To have what view?
If you don't believe that the infinite regress is a logical contradiction.
Yeah. So can you give me the contradiction?
Yeah. Give me a second. Let me translate that in English. So, for example, of an infinite regress is the question, what caused A? If A was caused by B, then the question becomes what caused B, and so on. It chain goes
Appreciate
infinite.
the galaxy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Definite.
So you can apply the same notion to God's eternality, right?
But isn't there like scientific consensus that
because you accept infinites whenever it relates to God being eternal, right? Because there's going to be an infinite set of time prior to creation, right? So if you just accept infinities, if you accept infinities, then you can't reject infinite regression. But like I don't care to have that conversation. I really don't.
Okay, but isn't like
Carlene, I appreciate the glowing jellyfish. Thank you so much.
Isn't there like scientific consensus that the Big Bang like existed, so it has like an beginning?
I believe the Big Bang happened. The Big Bang had a beginning point, right? But the same notion is that I had a beginning point. But that doesn't mean that all existence has a beginning. It just means that necessarily had a beginning. So we don't know what came prior to the Big Bang. Right. What I'm saying is that we're comparing different explanations of what could be the case. You're saying it's a God. I'm saying it's a state of fundamental particles. Yeah. Right. And the state of fundamental particles requires less assumptions than the state in which there's a God. Right. Therefore, it's going to be more likely to be true because each assumption, right, we wouldn't have the basis to judge the probability of the likelihood or the likelihood of that particular assumption being accurate. So each assumption would be equivalent in terms of probability, in terms of the comparison. So if one has more than the other, right, clearly speaking, it's going to have a lower probability because that probability is multiplied more times. Bro, so the probability gets smaller because it's multiplied more times.
But this probability of the origin that you're talking about is like, I think, 10 square 125. Look it up. The probability that you're talking about.
Oh, you can't calculate like a particular probability. All I'm saying is that you can compare at least on a qualitative basis, on a quality basis of less or more likely, all right, just based upon the idea that there is more or less assumptions, right? Because the more assumptions that you have, the less likely it would be true because each different assumption is multiplied by each other in terms of its probability to be true. Does that make sense?
I didn't get that, to be honest.
Each different assumption. Okay, so let's say I have 5 assumptions, right? Yeah. The probability of assumption 1 being true is 80%. The probability of number 2 is 80%. Probability of number 3 is 60%. Probability of number 4 is 80%. Yeah. 5 is 80% as well. All of them are 80% except for 1. Okay, or we could just say 80% for all of them. That would be, or if it's a little less, then it would be like what? Less than 80%, right? In terms of its likelihood to occur, right? So if it would be less than 80% in terms of its likelihood to occur, right? That would be greater than if it would be less, right? In terms of the sample size, right? Because the what is it? 40 or 60% has less weight comparative to the other 80%. Does that make sense?
Not really, because you have 5 assumptions, and they all 80%. I don't get that.
No, they're not all they're not all 80%.
Except one,
One of
40%.
them's yeah. So that one that is
And what is
separate
the
from the
rest
other
of the
ones.
percentage then? I don't
What's
get
that?
that. What is the rest of the percentage then? What about the for all, like the rest 20%? It must be other assumption that that has those probability then. I don't you know what I'm saying?
What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Right. So if you compare, let's say there's 3 assumptions. One of them is like a what's it called? Like 60%,
Yeah.
right? The other one's 60%, the other one's
How does
60%.
two assumptions make 60 like those are 125 120%. I don't get
No,
that.
each I'm not adding them up.
But if you have like five
They're each
probabilities,
individual propositions. There's 60% negate or assertion, 40% negation for each of the different propositions.
okay.
They're like separate.
And you
Okay,
guys,
we don't need to have this. This is why I don't talk about infinite regress, bro. This is exactly what I don't.
no, I was not talking about infinite regress. I was talking about the probability that you're like about the particles that they made the Big Bang and that we came into existence
Yeah,
of
that we
part
were
of the
talking
Big
about infinite
Bang.
regression, but
Those
we don't. There's no
probability
probability we
is
have set for
square
that because we have the
10,
same operating assumption on both sides. We're
but
both assuming that this state, like prior to the universe existing, has the necessary properties to bring about this reality rather than another one. In the same way that God has the necessary desires to do so. When God has the necessary desires to bring about this reality, right, that's going to indicate that God has the necessary properties.
but what I'm saying is the cause of the Big Bang and then we came into existence because of like the particles, like your theory, that the particles were always there and then they, I don't know, they made a fusion or what? How did the Bang come then? What particles?
Oh, the
I don't think
particles
all
would just
particles are
interact because
even
they had the
there.
necessary properties to interact and create this particular world. The same way that God at some point just decides and has the desire to create.
And where those particles come from then?
The particles always existed in the same way God always existed.
No, then you need to be out of space and time to always exist. Because
You don't have to be outside of space and time. You can be outside of the space
time
that
is
we currently
literally,
observe, right? But you don't have to be outside of time. Time would be required to understand the notion of causality, because when it relates to causality, there's a prior state and then a state after that, a state where there's a cause and then a state where there's an effect. Okay?
okay.
There's 2 different states that's cause
Yeah,
that
causal,
requires time.
okay. Get it.
Does that make
But
sense?
isn't
Because it's in order to
and,
change. Chat, by the way, this is on topic, right? Because his whole basis for why being gay is wrong, right, is on the idea that that it's considered wrong within his religion.
okay. Do you think you said incest is wrong, right? Immoral with the stream and Dean, I guess. That's where like
The
first
power
saw
dynamic
you.
argument, yeah.
Yes, you said incest is wrong. So I'm asking you, Parker, if you have two sons and they want to make out, like they like each other and they want to have sexual intercourse, your two sons and they all accept it, they want it, and they are of
I think
age.
that's wrong because of the power dynamic, right? That removes their ability to
The power
consent.
dynamic?
Yeah,
Isn't
there's a
that the
power
same
dynamic
way?
between.
They love each other.
Yeah, that aids into the power dynamic. There's a power dynamic that exists amongst siblings, amongst father, son, mother,
It
uh,
happens. It
son, mother,
happens. That
daughter,
happens
father,
with both.
daughter, right? That would remove our ability to consent as it relates to our family structures, right? So there's just
But
particular types of power dynamics that
so you
exist.
can say that can happen. Two brothers like each other and want to have sexual intercourse
No, they can
because of
like
the
each
power
other. What
dynamic.
I'm saying that it would be wrong for them to act upon that, as that would be in relation to a power dynamic.
What? That's not
That
an
yeah,
explanation.
it is an explanation.
No,
In
if
the
they
same
want, if
sort
they
of
love each
way,
other, what are you gonna
hold up,
do about it?
dude. I'm not making the argument just because one person loves the other that it's okay. What I'm making the argument is that a consensual adult relationship, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
right? And I'm arguing in this scenario that this is not consentful, right? Because of the family dynamic that exists.
The family dynamic that okay, if a stepbrother or like non-related, like they grew up in a like house together and they grew up like the whole world, but they're not blood related, so they can't. So there is
Yeah,
like
but they
also
but
like
they but they
power
live
dynamic.
together throughout their whole life. Yeah, it would be wrong.
Also, it's also like a be that will be wrong too.
Yes.
Chad,
I don't
please,
know why you're laughing at that. Yeah, I think
Chad,
that would be
please,
wrong. If they
please.
grew up with each other and they lived with each other under the same household, the same family structure, yes. Yeah, I think that would be wrong.
That's crazy. Chad, do you agree with Parker? I want to know that.
Yeah,
Because of power dynamic.
do you not think that's even weird? Like you grew up together, you literally lived in the same household, or had the same parents, right? Also, like in the same idea, right? This if you don't say this type of argument, you're then going to be accepting that people can go out, adopt children, raise them all the way until they're 18. Once they're 18, engage in intercourse with them, and that's consensual. Do you think that's consensual?
No,
That's what I
but
thought. Yeah. Why so?
because of my religion, bro. You
Okay.
cannot have that.
Your religion doesn't say that, by the way.
It's saying that.
Where does your
So,
religion say that you can't adopt someone, wait till they're of age, and then engage in intercourse with them?
no, not that. Like if you grow up like in a family, if you adopt it, you cannot like marry their sister or something like that because you basically belong to the family.
Yeah, but no, this is adoption.
You can have sexual intercourse with another man.
No, do you think that you can adopt someone, raise them until they're of age, and then engage in intercourse with them? Do you think that's okay?
No, no, you can't. You can nah, nah.
So clearly speaking, there's a power dynamic that exists there just by there being a familial structure or like
Bro,
growing
that
up, right? And that would exist whether or
what
not
if
they're
they don't feel
siblings, that
that
would
power
exist whether or
dynamic?
not they're parents.
What if they don't feel that power dynamic or how you call it? I don't even know.
You don't have to say you
What if
feel
they
a power dynamic. There could be 14-year-old girls that want to sleep with One Direction members that don't feel a power dynamic, right? But there's absolutely a power dynamic that would exist there between the One Direction member and between the 14-year-old little
why is it
girl.
still happening then?
What?
Why is it happening then in the world that two brothers make out, for example? I don't know, the Island Boys, for example.
What do you mean?
They
Why
make
does it
out.
happen, right?
The Island Boys make out. You know that?
Okay,
They
what's
make
your
like
point with that?
they
They
make
make
like
money.
content. How do you know that that's wrong? That's wrong then, in your opinion, because of the power dynamic.
If they grew up, I do think that if they were engaging in sexual intercourse, it'd be
That's
wrong. They're just
immoral.
they're that's not okay. So if you've actually heard them say that they say it's not sexual, right? They're doing it
But
for
it was just
like
an example, bro. But that happens.
for money. So
That happens.
it's technically not like sexual.
Okay, Parker. What? A question. What is the evidence for you like that God exists?
What's the evidence of God's existence?
Now, what is the evidence for you that God exists? Like, what would be an evidence for you that God
Oh,
exists?
like a rational argument?
A rational argument. That's it?
Yeah.
So you think the concept of God is not a rational argument?
No, I don't. I've never heard a rational argument for God.
So it would not be rational if he does not exist, like if he's out of space and time and has a will and is almighty and
Yeah,
all
because
the
I think atemporal
created the
causation
universe.
is absolute
That
gibberish.
is not that is not a rational argument.
Yeah, no, atemporal causation is absolute gibberish.
What does gibberish mean?
Bullshit.
Okay. How do you know that killing somebody is wrong?
It's going to be killing someone isn't necessarily. It would be murder. Murder is just like by definition unjust. So because it's unjustified, and that would be in relation to my preferences.
Okay, so you cannot judge somebody who's gonna kill somebody because you're gonna like you referring
Well,
to your
kill
preference.
someone doesn't imply unjustified because in a sense in which someone is engaging in self-defense, they are killing someone, right? But we wouldn't consider it to be wrong, right? Because it's justified, right? Because it's self-defense.
I'm saying if it's not just if he's feeling like
Yeah, unjustified would be
he's
murder
feeling
then.
today, he want to kill somebody, and he
Yeah,
just
yeah,
go
Malik,
kill
Malik,
somebody
Malik,
without any
Malik, that
reason.
Malik, that would be murder. That's just a semantical distinction in terms of the language. Does that make sense?
Murder then, whatever.
Right.
Like if you're
If
gonna
someone
label
is
rape,
raping one of your family
rape.
members and you unalive them to save them, right? Or is going to kill one of your family members and you unalive them to save them, did you do something wrong?
Say it again. If I want to what?
If someone is going to kill your family members and you unalive them, right? Did you do something wrong to save
No,
their life again?
no.
No, you didn't do something
That's
wrong. So
justified.
you killed
But
them,
I'm saying,
you
how do you
unalived
know
them, yet
what?
you didn't do something wrong.
But I'm saying, how do you know what's right and wrong?
My preferences.
Isn't that subjective then?
Yeah, it is.
So we have like 7 billion subjective preferences if they have like all the same
Well, you have
thinking
a
as
lot
you.
more. Each person has a lot more than one preference.
But you know what I'm saying? Like they all like if they don't like referring to a Quran or like the Bible or something like that, they have like their own preference.
You're still going based upon your own preference. Your preference is just to be in accordance with what your perceived notion of God is.
But God is whether woman or man. That's the most objective that can be, and He's All Might.
Yeah, that you're just assuming
That is
that.
basically objective because
You're
He's brother
assuming that
and
this
man.
almighty being exists to then imply that in the first place. So I
And
don't
again,
know.
what?
You're assuming that it exists.
Yeah, of course I'm assuming that it exists, but it's a logical like argument, logical thinking, and it's like a
Oh no, I don't. I think it's illogical, right? I remember I can give you contradictions. We can go through the perfection
so
argument
you
again.
think that's
We can talk
a
about the problem of evil. Are you
so you
down?
think that's illogical if you think like
Yep, yep.
if you think of like objective moral, like from a God who's
Yeah,
rather
I
man
no,
or
I
a
think
woman,
that I think
and
that
he's all
likely
might
your
and have
view
all the wisdom.
is
That's not
contradictory.
a so that's not like a rational concept for you. If someone
Yeah,
is
I
rather
think that
woman,
likely you don't hold a
rather
rational
man.
concept that relates to God.
Okay, so do you think the concept of everybody having his own subjective like point of view is a better concept than the other one?
Yeah,
What are you
clearly.
gonna what are you gonna how
Clearly
you gonna
because it's more accurate in accordance with reality. I don't know what it would mean to say that like there'd be a fact about morality that's going to be like true independent of our stances. Like what does that mean?
I don't get the last part.
Yeah, well, I was just asking about objective moral facts, but
Yeah, even laws are subjective.
I don't think
Even
they
laws
make
are
any sense.
subjective because they still from humans. Even laws are even if the seven like it's not the number of people that make it objective, bro.
Yeah, I don't think
Like, even have
I
you
don't
two
think that's
million.
true. I don't even hold I don't think any objective moral facts exist. Right? I think that morality is subjective. The truth of
So
morality
you
is going to be
can't.
dependent on our different views. I appreciate
Yeah.
the paper crane. Thank you so much. So in
Okay.
relation
So
to
you
my view,
can't judge another
I
one
can
who's
describe right my brain psychology, like what I think to be wrong, what I think to be right, my
okay.
preferences, what I like, what I don't like.
By the way, okay. So you can not judge somebody if he want to like rape a dead body.
By the way, you have to
You
say
cannot
R
judge
word or essay. You can't say
because
that.
on what?
Hey, did you hear my word? Did you hear what I
Yeah,
said?
grape, grape.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure.
Yeah. So you cannot judge somebody who wants to like rape a dead body.
You literally didn't. You just said it again, bro. Like what?
How you can judge them like if
Yo,
for
did you hear
example
what I said?
if I want to like sorry for the example like one of your family
No,
members
did
is
you hear
dead.
what I said, bro? It's TikTok TOS. It's terms of service. Okay.
What did I say? Grape.
You know you didn't. You literally said you didn't say it with a G. Also, just say R word or essay.
Okay. If I want to grape a dead body, okay, is that okay? Is
No,
that
I
term?
don't. I don't think that's okay.
How? What are you referring to then? How do you know? On your own preference you're referring? You cannot adapt
Yeah,
that on
that's my
me.
own preference. I think
But
that's wrong.
you cannot adapt your own preference on me, on my behavior, on my actions. In my opinion, I think on my preference, I'm referring to my preference then, I think raping a dead body is right. How you gonna say then I'm the wrong one? You can
So I
because
disagree with you. So it's wrong in the
but
sense that it's not my view. So if we're going off of my view, it wouldn't be in accordance with my view. it's right in the sense in which it's your view, right? I don't
Exactly.
think
So
it's
you
right.
cannot judge my
Under my
actions.
view, it's not right.
Yeah, that's true, but you cannot judge my actions, like
I
because
did. I literally am judging it by saying it's
no,
wrong.
because like that's what I'm referring to on my
You
preferences.
understand that you said that you have that preference. I still think it's wrong. That's my judgment.
But so basically, yeah. So how do you how we can live like in the world then if everybody has his own preference then? Tell me.
That's currently the world we live in right now.
But yeah, because of the laws that they exist, which are obviously all also subjective from humans.
Okay, so what's your point? You just asked
My
how it's
point
going to
is
be.
you
You
need
live in
an
a world in which it is.
objective. The rational thinking is like if you think rational, you need an objective source that you can rely on, like that
You
you
don't
can
need no.
compare it
That's I
to.
think that's nonsense, right? Do you think
That
that
is
there would be truths about morality without God?
no, because
Okay, well
like
then you think that
morality is always.
morality is true dependent upon God, which tells me that you believe in subjective morality.
You said what? Say
You
it again.
you
I'm
you
sorry.
reject the
Then
idea
I
of objective
misunderstood
moral
you. Then I
facts.
misunderstood you, bro. Then I
So
misunderstood you.
subjective morality is when morality is true dependent upon, right, a stance
Yo,
or a desire, right? Objective morality is when like morality is going to be true independent of a stance or a desire. Okay, so when you say that like moral facts, right, are dependent upon God, like the truth maker is God, you're telling me that morality is subjective because God is a subject.
nah, God is not the subject, bro. He's rather human. He's not a woman, not a man, not like you. That's
Okay.
like the most objective thing that you can be. Like he has all the wisdom, basically. So you must have someone with all these like characteristics who's gonna like tell you what is right and wrong, and
What is a subject? Can you tell me?
not everybody choosing what is
No,
right or
can you
wrong by
define to me
itself.
what a subject is, please?
Subject. Subject? Bro, what do
Yeah,
you mean by
what is
subject?
it? What is a subject?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You just said that God is not a subject. I'm asking you what you mean by that word then.
Object, I'm sorry.
What?
He's not an object.
Oh, he's not an object. Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, God is not an object. I'm not making the argument that God is an object. I never made that claim. I said God is a subject.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
I mean that God has like opinions, desires, stances, right?
He has opinions, desires, stances.
Stances, yes.
Yeah, and he has all the wisdom. That's why we're referring
Think
to him.
whatever you want. I don't care, right? But the
No, those
notion
are
is
the
that
attributes.
morality under your view is subjective.
No, it's not because he's rather human. He's not a human like you. He don't grow up. Like
Yeah,
it's
so wait,
because
what do you think
morality
objective
in
means?
our world,
What
bro.
do you think
You don't know
objective
the
means?
definition of morality because morality is
I
indeed
literally do. What
tied.
does objective
No,
mean?
it's tied to time and culture. So it
No,
changes.
no, no, no. Can you
Our
tell me what
morality,
objective means?
what objective means?
Yeah.
Like objective, objective. Like I don't, like it's not subjective. It's objective. Like for example, he's not a girl. He's not a man. He has all the wisdom. So basically, that's objective because
Can you give me a definition?
the definition of what?
Objective.
Mm.
This is the issue. I've
Like
told you multiple times in this conversation the definition. Not only myself, right, but you could have known it prior. So not only did you not know it prior and you didn't know it in this conversation and you're using it, but at the same time, you haven't been listening and I've been telling you multiple times what it is. Okay? Like
tell me
I'm
what
not talking to
prior means?
someone that's actually engaging with things that I'm saying. Malik, I don't know. I don't think
Yeah,
there's anything
God is
productive coming from
non-binary. Yeah,
this.
that's what I'm saying in the chat. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. God is non-binary. That's why I think that's the most
Appreciate
objective
the
point of
paper
view
crane.
that you
Thank you
can
so
have.
much.
And he has all the wisdom. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think that's the most objective. And morality in our
God is a they them. God is non-binary. W.
oh shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
God's
I forgot
pronouns
that.
are they them.
Bro, I'm not fluent on that.
Non-binary icon.
Yo, I'm not fluent. Calm. But you know that morality is tied to time. You know that, right? And culture.
Honestly,
So
I
that,
think that no. Just I just want to clarify, right? Thank you for the hand. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
bro, that was
So God is a part of the LGBTQ?
Yo, stop. That's respectful.
What do you mean? You said he's non-binary.
Bro, you of course you know that was like a false.
What do you mean that's false? It actually, descriptively speaking, is true.
He's rather girl, not bro, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. Like he's all might. He has not he don't have a gender. As I said, we think God has like some attributes. Like he
Yeah,
must
he
be
doesn't have a
uncreated.
gender. Exactly, non-binary.
He's uncreated. He's omnipotent, and he has a will. More and must be outside
Yeah,
the
yeah.
curse. Those are like
We need to speak to them with better better
ha ha
terminology.
ha ha ha. So funny.
What do you mean?
But
What's funny?
you know what?
I'm just saying that like God is literally the most famous
But
non-binary
why I'm saying
individual,
that's
right?
subjective because
Is it
our
isn't God like extremely famous and not the most famous non-binary individual?
bro, you
Do you agree? Do you agree?
no,
No?
no, I don't know, like no, because he's not human.
I mean,
You,
but
I can
I don't think
only,
that
I don't know what
matters.
he looks like. You don't know, you cannot tell what he looks like. You can just say his characteristics and his attributes. That's what we can talk about, not about like his looks or something like that, because you don't
I don't know.
know.
I think they're an icon.
What is an icon?
Um uh they're popular.
Fans of my new not popular. You know that song?
No.
Oh, okay. But what is I'm saying? Why I think
Wait,
that's
here actually I have one question.
what?
Do you think God is within everything?
I don't know. I cannot answer that question because I don't know the Islamic point of view on that.
Is God within us?
I don't know the I don't know the like Islamic point of view of that, so I can't answer that question. Maybe or maybe not. I don't know. I need to look it up.
For sure, man. Well, is there anything else you want to go over or talk about, Malik?
Yeah, why I think that's subjective because morality is always like bound to time and to the current society. You agree on that one? Like it's tied to time and
Well,
culture,
it
which is
depends on
observed.
what like the people's beliefs at that current time could be dependent
Yeah,
upon like socialization in many scenarios. Sure. What's your
as
point?
well as yours, like as well as
Yeah,
your
my I
morality.
could be
It's like
influenced
you have to
by
trust in
socialization. I'm
socialization.
not disputing that, right? But that doesn't dispute the claim that like my
That's why
preferences
you
are a
need.
particular
Yes,
way.
but that's why you need to have an objective morality that is for
I
like
don't think you need to
every
have
area,
objective
every
morality
society.
because morals are influenced by like society. Like what?
But that's why you need to have like an objective like point of view, like how do you do right and wrong for all
Even
society.
if you believe that morality is objective, morals are still influenced based upon like what people believe or perceive to be the facts about
That's true.
morality is still influenced by society. So I don't know what you're talking about. The same issue exists even like it's literally just it's a language difference. It's not like
Yeah.
there's nothing in reality that's going to be different whether we consider
Parker,
like
do you
morality to be
believe
objective or subjective. The
yeah.
difference is like solely language. It's solely semantical.
Parker, do you believe like in karma?
No.
So like you don't care if you like doing good or bad. Basically, it has
I
no
do care
effect on
about
your
doing
life.
bad. I don't want to do bad.
But why you doing like bad stuff? Because nothing gonna happen to you in your point
I'm
of view, right?
why am I not doing bad stuff?
Yeah. For example, why don't you
Because I
smoke
think that
or why don't you
promoting
smack
good
somebody for
things is a
something?
lot more conducive towards happiness and flourishment.
All right. What do you think gonna happen like to some like who rape thousands of people in some village in I don't know in Asia, in Africa or something like that? They're raping thousands of kids. What's gonna happen to them? Or gonna kill thousands of kids?
I don't know. It would be dependent upon that particular circumstance, but I think that's terrible. I think that's horrendous. I think that shouldn't
Yeah, but
happen.
that
I
happens in the
think that
world.
bad things probably should happen to that individual, right? So like
But nothing gonna happen if you don't believe in a God. That he just gonna die and be like in particles. He gonna like
okay,
explode.
I'm confused how that necessarily critiques any view. And karma isn't like is not
I
your
think
faith, by the
I
way.
think I think
Karma
it's
is literally like
look
founded in different religion.
it like in Norwegian, not Norwegian, Netherlands. They made a study like that you have a fitra. That's what they call it in Islam. So that you like since you as a kid like you believe in God and know like what is bad and wrong basically. So it must be like have a there. Muslims know what I'm talking about. And there is also a study from the Netherlands, like from the university, that tested
Yeah,
kids.
I don't know. I don't know. I have to see what you're talking about with Islam saying that because from my knowledge, the fitra was from Hinduism.
No, it's Islamic. That's basically saying that you
Or
have it like
I must be confusing terminology then.
that that you have like deep in you. Now,
I must be confusing terminology.
concept of karma is not Hinduism because like if you believe in karma presupposes a God who judges about right and wrong. That's like rational thinking. So the one in the chat, I was referring to one in the
I
chat.
know karma is but I thought that reference was
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah,
everybody in the chat who believes in
karma
karma,
clearly
you have to
is
believe in
Hindu.
God.
Wait,
But
no,
everybody who
karma is Hindu. Can you give me any evidence to believe that karma is
yes,
in
yeah,
Islam?
I'm telling you, if you believe in karma presupposes a God who judges by right and wrong. How do you think then? So if somebody gonna grape
Wait,
somebody, how do you think they're
They
gonna be judged?
Hinduism believes in a god, right? In many senses,
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm saying yeah. If you believe in a God, that makes sense. If you believe in karma, you have to
right? But
believe
it's
in a
not.
God.
That's not Islam. I'm asking
But
for Islam.
but yeah, as I said, in Islam, there is a God. What do you what? Say it again. What? What was
I'm
the
asking
question?
for the evidence of karma within Islam.
As I said, we have a book which like tell us what to do right and wrong, and based on your actions, you're gonna be either in the hell or in the paradise, and the one who's gonna judge about that is the God.
Yeah, you're
And
saying
that's
who
what I'm
judges
saying.
the actions is the god and whatnot, and determine.
Yes, and if you
But
don't
like
believe,
that is not in error with Islam. I honestly, this is not giving scriptural evidence for that. This is not providing anything for that.
but those are the logical like this is a logical argument
Right, but
basically.
like I mean, I could say anything can be compatible, logically speaking, with your
No,
view,
you
right?
can't.
You know what's compatible with your view?
No, you cannot.
Rick and Morty being like in real life.
No, it's not. That's not logic. I'm
That is
sorry.
compatible with your view. What's contradictory about that?
Because it's fictional.
No, they're not fictional anymore. They're real.
How?
Because I said they're real. Because they can be. There's no contradiction with them actually being
What is the
real.
evidence then?
There is no evidence. I'm just saying there's no contradiction.
How did, bro? What? Where is contradiction in my argument? If I'm saying like if you believe in karma, you must have to believe in God.
Yeah,
Who's
dude.
judges about right and wrong?
I'm not arguing against that.
That's
What I'm
like the logical thinking, like
hold up. I'm
logical.
not arguing against that. Dude, you're not understanding. I'm saying it doesn't. Can you give me evidence that matches up with Islam? That's like what I argued, and then you just don't even like. You
What
don't
matches
listen to
up
any
with
of my
Islam?
like. Thank you, Caleb.
What?
Appreciate the hand art.
What do you
Let me
mean
finish
matches
my.
up with
Let me
Islam?
finish. Let me finish. Thank you for the hand art. You don't listen to any of my questions fully through, and then you're just like you get like angry whenever you don't understand, right? But if you actually just like listened, right, and understood what I'm saying, maybe then you wouldn't be asking those questions that I've already answered.
Okay, what doesn't make sense with Islam then? Say the
Can
question.
you give
Tell
me
me.
evidence that it is like that it's like in Islam karma?
As I said, he provides the Quran, and there is it stated in the statements that everything your actions, everything you do, you're gonna get back, even in this life or in another life. And with
That's
another
just
life,
judgment. That's not karma.
that is karma, based on your actions, if you get it back or not.
No, karma is a cycle of rebirth based upon actions. Okay, this is not a cycle of rebirth, right? This is
As I said, not in this world or in another world.
that's not rebirth though within this world.
You get it back in this world if you do like bad actions. For example, if you rape somebody, you will get it back either in this world
Again,
or
bro, like if you keep saying the word, right? Like you're not saying it with a G. I swear. Like maybe it's getting cut off, but
all right, I will do it like more.
because no, like I actually like literally, dude, it's TOS, and I'm
Yeah, I will
already
do it
on
more
my second
conscious.
account,
Yeah, with
bro.
more conscious then. then or I'm gonna like ask for another or tell like another example next time.
All right, for sure. Appreciate you coming on.
No problem.
All right, everyone. If you like my content, make sure to follow me if you've already. Tap that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes, everyone. We have been on for 4 hours and 30 minutes or so. We might just stay on for like 30 minutes or maybe another hour and 30 minutes or something, and then we will get off for today. But by the way, everyone, if you want to follow me here, this is my second account because I'm dealing with TikTok suspension right now from live stream on my main account because of quote unquote misinformation. I don't know. It's really annoying to deal with, but hopefully we'll be able to get through this. We've got another 5 days until we go back. So 22nd is when I get my account back, everyone. It's kind of annoying, but yeah, we're going to go on to the next person. Again, if you like my content, follow me if you haven't already, everyone. Misinformation? Yeah, apparently. Yo, Palavi, I appreciate the hand art. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 35.
Yeah, do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I highly think that being gay is wrong.
Why so?
Because, I'm a straight guy. My brother is gay, actually. And when I use my brain, man, and I think about, how I'm gonna love, how I'm gonna make love. Can you answer that?
How you make
Okay,
love?
pretend I'm gay. Just pretend for 1 second I am gay. How do you think I make love to my partner? How can we make love?
It depends on the circumstance. It depends on how you and your partner like things done.
Okay, well, let me tell you why. Remember the question. Do you think being gay is wrong? So let me elaborate a little bit for you. Because I know you are one of the smartest guys in the world. So since you are so smart, you just need to listen why it's wrong. Because it's nasty, Parker. And if you want me to give you details why it's nasty, I will tell you. The body has members, yeah? A hand has purpose, a feet has purpose, a mouth is meant to speak, the nose to inhale the fresh air, and a buttocks, I don't want to use the wrong word to get kicked, but your behind, it's to go in the toilet and doo-doo.
Can I ask you one question?
Wait, let me finish. Don't worry. You had guests for hours here, so you don't need to rush me. I just let me tell you why it's wrong. You ask a question, so you need to listen now. I'm demonstrating everything so you can understand with your big mind and imagination, okay? I'm not cursing at you. I'm answering your question. Okay, my brother? So let me continue. Yeah, in the bed now, 2 men. I know when I go to the toilet, to the restroom, I sit on the toilet seat and I see this faces coming out of my behind, right? But because my mind is so polluted and so corrupt, I try to trick myself and say that I can do something different. Now imagine, I am a gay guy. So whether I give or I take, right? You can give or you can take being gay. Imagine now I'm in the bed with a dude. I take my precious stuff that's down there to put it behind the guy. And imagine after we make love, man, we smelling like doo-doo, like a piece of shit in the street. Isn't that nasty, bro? I don't want to be smelling like shit while I make love, man. What's wrong with you? That's why it's wrong, because it's filth. You actually looking at your penis and you seeing brown. What is that? I don't want to see shit on my dick, bro. What's wrong with you? That's why it's nasty. That's why it's wrong. And if you don't like it, then you can be gay. Who gives a shit? Go on, be gay, bro. What's wrong with you guys? Why being gay is wrong? Then go let a man put a shit up in your ass, man. It's right for you. Then do it. And I know you don't have a response, man. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. Laugh at yourself.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just I really try to
That's
keep it
how
in.
it is. Exactly.
I really try to keep it in. I'm sorry. Here, let me
It's a
respond. Let me
joke.
respond.
You
So
can't
like
respond. Let me hear you now.
when it relates to this, okay. So like one
Respond
thing
to
that's
what I
very
say.
very
Respond
very
to what I
abundantly
say.
clear to hold up.
Respond to what I said. Don't stray. Respond to the doodoo part. I'm listening. Go ahead. Teach us. Doodoo on my dick. How do I fix that? I'm smelling like a piece of shit in the bed.
Hey, do you want me to speak, or do you just wanna like
Yeah,
monologue?
go ahead. I know you ain't got shit to say, but go ahead. Shit is on your dick. Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead. People gonna laugh
so
at you, bro. Go ahead.
yeah,
Don't
so
wait.
let
Don't
me
hesitate.
get to it. Let me
Speak.
get to it.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
gay people, right? They clean before they engage in intercourse. The same way that straight people
Bro, are you
clean
an
before they
idiot?
go
I'm
and
talking
engage in
about after
intercourse,
you put
right?
your shit in the
Hold up, man.
asshole.
Let me
You are
finish.
not
Let me
speaking
finish,
my
bruv.
point. I said when you take out your
You're not speaking to my point, right? Well, apparently I'm going to be speaking to my point and to your point. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give you the same treatment whenever you start speaking as well. I'm gonna talk over you the same way. I literally asked for a question and you were like extremely condescending in terms of saying let me finish. And then immediately when I come to speak, right? It's like you immediately
speaking about
start cutting me
before,
off.
Parker.
And look at him
Don't
now
speak
again.
about
He
before.
can't even wait.
No,
He can't
because you're
even
speaking
wait.
about before. I'm talking about after, not before. Not before.
Yeah,
Before you
yeah.
take a
After you
shower.
engage in
You
intercourse,
take
it's
a
gonna be
shower to smell
fine.
like shit after? What's
Here,
wrong with you?
actually, here, let me
You
just do this again. So after it's gonna be fine as well because again, you cleaned in the first place, so it was completely clean. There was no
shower to
issue
smell
with
like
that.
shit after, bro? What's wrong with you,
No,
guy?
it wouldn't.
Bro, it wouldn't. What you mean it wouldn't if you
You
put
can
your dick in an
you can ask
asshole,
gay
bro? What's
people. It
wrong with
doesn't.
you?
You can ask gay people. It
How are you
doesn't.
smart, bro? How are you smart? You guys think you are the
Dude,
smartest, but you don't know shit.
is this guy for real?
Bro, if you put a dick in an ass, your shit is gonna smell like shit. What's wrong with you?
No, not if you clean, right?
How you
Maybe
know?
with you
How you
because you
know?
don't
How you know?
clean.
How you know? How you know? How you know? How
Oh,
you know?
because I know gay people.
Bro, gay people lie, bro.
I
Just
don't
use
think
your
they're
intellect.
lying,
You are
right?
the
Like,
smartest
why
guy
are
on
you
TikTok.
assuming
Why
that
you
they're
don't know that?
lying?
How come you don't know if you put anything up there? Put your finger
Why
and
are
tell
you
me what it smells
assuming that
like.
they're
Okay,
lying,
put your
bro?
finger on the live and smell it and tell us what it smells like.
Bro,
Go
why
ahead.
are you
Bro, you are idiot because you pretending that you don't know what is facts. Put
dude?
your
What are you
finger and
talking
tell me
about?
what your finger smells like. You idiot. Huh? You idiot guy. Put your
Why,
finger in your ass
dude? Is this
and
guy
tell me
for
what it
real,
smells
bro?
like. Put your
Yeah.
finger
So
up your
again,
ass.
I'm not someone that has done that to clean right now, right? Clearly, dude, right? You don't know how to actually like chill for a second so that we can have a back and forth conversation. So I want you to chill. I want you to chill. Clearly,
I'm
you
out, bro.
probably.
I'm out. I'm out. You
I'm out. I'm
nasty.
out. So
I'm
you
out.
can't argue. Or are you running? Are you running? Oh, he ran, bro. Fuck. Dude, dude, what just happened, chat? What just happened? What just happened? What is going on my live right now? Today's been weird. Today's been weird. By the way, everyone, I am bananaed right now on my main account, live suspended. We will be back on the 22nd, everyone. So we got like 5 days until we're back on the main account, but we will be pretty soon. Again, if you disagree, send a guest request right now. Please only send a guest request if you disagree. Tap that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. If you want to get out to more people, share the live. Let's try to get to 1,000 shares real quick. But let me go on to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all.
Hello.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Well, I don't think it's exactly like immoral. I want to get a couple things out of the way. I want to say like I'm
Do you think that
completely
engaging in gay
open-minded.
intercourse is wrong or immoral?
Not intercourse, no. Or I mean,
So you,
yes, intercourse in specific. But that's personal. I don't want to push that against anyone, you know what I mean?
what do you mean that's personal?
Like that's my own personal belief. Like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't condone my kids to do that.
Why
And
so?
like but I wouldn't say it's bad for another person to do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you are when you're saying that you don't want your kid to do it because your kid's another person.
No, but like it's good. It's okay to like it's not okay to push ideals onto your kids, but it's okay to teach your kids right from wrong.
That's literally pushing ideals on your kids.
What ideal is that though? That's just like telling them that's
Right
like
or what's right or
but that's
wrong?
natural
Saying
like
something is
human
right is an
history.
ideal. Oh, you're
Saying
underage, bro?
nah.
Well, then I don't know why TikTok is spamming it, so I'm just gonna go into the next person. I'm not even gonna deal with it. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Guess we're on the subject. And
Here, wait, Adam, if you want to send a guest request back real quick, I'll accept you, and I just gotta check your age, man. Too many people were saying I thought it was already in your bio. Apparently not. Nina, I appreciate the hat and mustache. Thank you so much. You can be 18 in high school. People, I thought it said below 18 because people were saying like particular ages in the chat. So I'm not going to do show me your ID, but I have a few questions you can answer. How old are you? How old are you?
18. I'm 18.
What's your birth year?
2005.
2005?
Yeah.
What about what month?
September this month. 6th.
What day? 6th?
Yeah.
What's your
My
fucking
sign. I'm
astrology
not
sign?
gonna lie, I do not know my sign. I have not.
People are saying you
into
said you were
signs
17
before.
earlier. Can you tell me the truth if you did say that, man?
When?
There's people spamming in the chat right now. I'm gonna have to kick you off if you don't tell me the truth right now.
No, bro, I didn't say that shit.
Okay, I heard smiling in that, so I'm trusting the chat. Did he say that? I didn't hear him say that, chat. Fuck, sometimes the chat gaslights me, so I don't know.
I'm
Yo, what's
33,
up?
but I'm
How-
33, but Parker, you can have shit in your dick. What is wrong with this dude? What's up, Parker? I've been here before. I'm old enough. I'm 33, right? But why is it that, I just want to say this, right? To the 2003K people watching this. Why is it that when you guys think about gay people, you automatically go to the sex, what we do in bed? What is the issue with society always sexualizing us? Why is everything about gay have to be sexualized? There are some gay people that don't even are asexual. So
actually,
what he was saying is just ignorance. It's full ignorance, pure BS. You guys
Absolutely agree.
need to open your mind to reality and not what you were programmed to believe or what you were programmed to hate. You guys were programmed to hate something you don't know nothing of and judge. All you guys are just judging each other. When in bed, if we want to talk about it, straight people, heterosexuals, do exactly what homosexuals do. They use toys. So you're being so freaking like bro, what is the word I'm looking for?
Hypocritical.
Exactly. Hypocritical.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need to get it together. I just want to say this. Good, yo, thank you, Parker, for having these lives.
Appreciate it.
Because I swear to God, people say the dumbest shit. People don't think before they speak. But keep doing your thing, Parker. You're the
Appreciate
man.
it.
You're the man.
Thank you so much. Have a
You're
great day.
welcome. You too.
All right, everyone, tap that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. If you want to help get it out to more people, everyone, you can tap that screen or you can share the live. Let's try to get to 1,000 likes or 1,000 shares, everyone. We're going to be unsuspended on the 22nd, everyone. So we only got a few days left till we'll be back on the main. If you haven't followed this account yet, make sure to follow. We're going to be on here for the next few days, everyone. This is where I'll be if I do get bananaed again, anyone, or any other time, y'all. Any other time. Oh shit. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 58.
Yeah, do you think that being gay is wrong or
Oh,
immoral?
yeah, basically what I know is that well, to me, I think it's against the natural instinct. You know what I mean? Like, I came to this world through a man and a woman, you know, which I grew up in this kind of environment that, oh, this is my mom, this is my dad. You know what I mean? So based on that, I think that why to them they would think it's okay. But if they are not forcing it on me or my children at school, fine enough. But the problem is that they are trying to force it on children who are innocent to believe that, oh, while they are growing up, they should accept that, being gay is okay. You know what I mean?
Wait, what forcing particularly are you referencing?
Not in schools in particular. Like, I mean, I live in the UK, you know.
What are they doing in schools to force it?
No, they're trying to even if they have like a gay club here, they can tell some of the kids to go without parents knowing it. You know what I mean?
When their parents
So
what? Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you there.
without the parent consent.
Oh, well,
The
I mean,
parent consent.
you can go to a club without, I mean, that's fine. That's not saying people should be gay. That's just clubs to accept people if they're gay, if they want to go to them. I don't think there's anything wrong with a kid consentfully like going to a club like that if they would want to, right? Again, given the fact that clubs are something that people go to if they want to. I didn't join any clubs when I was in high school, right? You don't have to join a club. There's no pressure to join a club.
No, but what I'm saying is that like I can hear people talking about it, like even America, that oh, if like you want your child to do something at school, the school will allow you, the parent, to come and give you consent. But when it comes to them joining like gay club, then obviously they're doing it in secret. You know what I mean? Or like they want to teach the kids to believe that you know it's okay to be gay. You know what I mean? That's what parents.
Likely if they're joining an LGBTQ club in the first place, they already think it's okay to be gay.
What I'm saying is that to me, I believe
Right?
that
Like
it's not
if they
okay.
didn't think it was okay, they wouldn't be joining the club. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
no, but what I'm saying is that it's not their way only. The schools are teaching that the schools are want the kid to understand that it's okay because like
wait,
some of
this
the
isn't like a mandated class. This is like a voluntary club that is on the side of schools. This isn't like I mean not like the side of schools like the it's like on the side like it's an extracurricular. It's not like something that anyone's forced to go into.
yeah, I know
It's
apart from the club, yeah, what I'm saying is that the schools want the kids there to believe that it's okay to be gay without the consent of parents.
there are particular clubs for different religions. Do you think that's forcing religions upon people and on children?
No, we don't follow school teach religion, isn't it? Children learn it to pass their exams. They
No,
don't,
but
it's
this
not
is a
for.
club. This is a club.
Yeah, that's what I know it's like. But what I'm saying is that the schools are teaching it for kids to believe that it's okay to be gay.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
against
good. That's a good thing to
white
teach. What's
parents.
wrong with that?
Why should they force on kids to believe that gay is okay? Why should they
They're
do
not.
that?
No one's forcing anyone to think it's okay, but we're teaching that it is okay to be gay because there is
No, no,
nothing
but
wrong with being gay.
why do you have to teach it without the consent of
What is wrong
parents?
with acceptance?
Yeah, because the thing is, yeah, it's a behavior. Some people's behavior, they choose to be who they want to be. You know what
No,
I mean?
people don't choose to be gay. People act upon being gay the same way they act upon being straight, but people don't choose to be gay, right? That's what people's desires are something intrinsic to them. Like for example, right? Could you choose to find me sexually attractive right now if you wanted to?
Can I choose?
Could you choose?
Yeah, if I want. I wasn't born. I wasn't born like to be gay, isn't it? People are not born to be gay.
So you
Nobody's
could
born to
choose.
be gay. If I want to choose, I will choose by my own choice.
Okay, could you choose to find your mother sexually arousing?
Can I choose to find what?
Your mother sexually arousing? Your own
What? What,
mother?
what does it mean by that?
Could you choose to find your own mother sexually arousing?
Why should I choose that? Why should I dive my mom in it?
No,
So
could
why
you?
why should
Could
I
you?
choose?
Could you? I'm asking if you could.
No, no.
No, you can't. So if you can't choose your sexuality, how do you expect other people to be able to choose it?
If I cannot choose,
What's up?
no, no. Listen, I wasn't born. If somebody's scientifical. There's nothing shows somebody's born gay. Is there any scientific proof?
There are genetic predispositions towards being straight
No.
and towards being
Is
gay,
it?
and there are scans of brains that indicate that we have different attraction in our brains, whether it be gay or straight
No. Is it
individuals, based upon
scientifically
particular
proved?
types of stimuli.
Is
That
it
is scientific
scientifically proven?
evidence. That is scientific
Where?
evidence that there's a biological response in terms of an individual being gay.
No.
That is
Why?
very
Where, where,
clear.
where, where can I find that, bro?
I can send it to you. It's linked in my Discord. I can send it to you directly. Is there a way I could DM it to you?
Now I'm 58 years old, but have never heard that. Oh, people,
Appreciate the handout. Thank you
people,
so much.
people are born to be gay. I haven't heard that, bro.
No, so it's what do you mean by born, right? Like, because like I don't think that people are born and they have this attraction already. I think that they develop this attraction the same way we develop rationality. I wasn't born as straight. I developed being straight. Okay, right? Because right, the parts of my brain had developed to have that point. But the conditions for me to be straight existed prior to the point in which I was. Does that make sense? It wasn't actualized yet. There wasn't this attraction yet because I wasn't old enough. It wasn't as developed yet.
No,
But
but
there
what
were
I'm
the
saying,
necessary properties to get to that point.
but it's the natural instinct that shows that a man have to live with a woman have to live with a man. You know what I mean? Somebody was saying that, oh, why is the law, everybody have to think about sex when it comes to gay? But obviously, when people come together as couples, what do? They don't sit down and look at each people's face, innit? They have to do something. They live as a family. So obviously, they have to have sex. That's why a lot of people try to know how did they do it. And it's so simple. A man live with a man, how are they going to have sex? It's through the anus. If a woman live with a woman, how are they going to enjoy it themselves? You know what I mean? So it's the same way. So people think that if for them to
I'm
bring up
I'm
a
I'm kind of
family,
confused what you just said. Can you restate what you just said?
and what I'm saying is that a lot of people try to find out how do gay people have sex. And somebody was saying in your program right now that, Lord, what should people think about gay people? How do they sleep or how do they have sex? They use toys or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So naturally, when people come together as couples, they obviously they have to have sex. They don't just sit there looking
Well,
at each people's face.
many couples don't have sex ever.
Really?
Yes, yes, because there are many people that do wait for long times and then break up by the time that they never before they even ever engage in intercourse,
No,
right?
but what?
Or some individuals are asexual and they never decide to engage in intercourse. Other individuals wait till marriage and then just doesn't work out, right? That happens. That happens relatively commonly, right? For people to be in relationships that they don't engage in intercourse in.
But how possible? How can they? I mean, enjoy life. You don't go in relationship and say, oh, I mean, unless maybe there's a problem somewhere. You know what I mean? Maybe like, some of them have maybe like medical issue that, that doesn't permit them to like, sleep with each other. But apart from that,
I really
when,
actually, man, I have a hard time hearing what you're saying. I don't know if it's your mic or something, but
okay, maybe the microphone anyway. So, all right, thank you for your time, yeah.
appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Um, all right, everyone, tap that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes, everyone. I'm gonna try to get to the next person. Again, if you disagree, send a guest request right now. Please only send a guest request if you do disagree, y'all. We're gonna go into the next person though.
Hey,
Yo, what's
hello
up? How
everyone.
old are you?
I'm 48.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Well, I would like to refer just to what a couple of things, right? The thing that the lady before was saying that straight people only compare to gay people in a sexual way, and that we were ignorant and we shouldn't do it that way. But let me tell you, on my experience, whenever I went to or try to go to a gay bar, the themes were always sexual themes. And when you see the parade in New York City, the Pride Parade is always a sexual party. So obviously, people are going to see it like this is about sex.
No, no. So pride is not sexual, right? Not, especially not inherently sexual, right? Most pride is based just solely on the idea of like acceptance and normalization of being gay, right? And in bars, right? That's. Have you been to a straight bar, bro? Are you serious? Like literally, there are so many people just
I
trying to
manage
engage in sex
nightclubs.
all the time. Yeah. So then
Yeah,
you know, right?
I manage nightclubs. I've been doing this for over 20 years, managing nightclubs.
Yeah. So then you know exactly what.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you. It
So
is
then
sexual.
what's the
So
distinction
I'm
between?
just saying, this is what people see. So they're going to think, okay, it's sexual. That's why. It's not because we're ignorant. It's because that's what is being shown
Shown where?
in gay bars, in the Pride
Well,
Parade,
any bar, it's
with
like
their
that.
behavior.
So
No,
that's
not
not
any bar.
specific. That's not specific to gay people. So if you don't use that to then assume that like straight people are like inherently sexual, right? Then why do we do that with gay people? That's kind of the point.
No, I was referring to what the lady that was there before was saying, that straight people think that being gay is only a sexual thing. But I'm telling you the examples. So when you see the parade,
No.
it's
They
sexual.
were saying
And
that they're
the
like
gay
they
bars,
constantly
it's sexual.
sexualize it. No, they're saying that like people who are talking about this constantly sexualize it, right? In relation to just all gay people, right? So they're just trying to sexualize all gay people.
Yes, because in their clubs and in the parade, they show sexuality. That's why.
By the way, that this isn't other of gay people. This is some gay people, right? One, and then two,
Yeah.
when it relates to
That
bars,
some gay people
when it relates to
ruin
bars,
the parade.
when it relates to bars, again, you're not addressing the claim that the same thing also exists among straight clubs as well. So like I don't know why you're just not acknowledging that at all.
But it's hard to find a straight club. Clubs are for everyone. They're open for everybody.
What do you mean?
When you have a club, like you have a nightclub, it's open for everybody. It's not open only for straight people. It's open
They're
for everybody.
mostly straight people, right? That's the
Mostly
point.
straight people, yes. But
Yeah,
you don't see the amount of sexuality that you may find in a gay club.
how do you okay, can you give me the distinction?
Bartenders are all half naked.
Have you been? I mean, any bar, there are
Of
people
course, I
that are
manage
like,
nightclubs. I've been managing nightclubs in New York City for over 20 years, so I've seen it a lot. So that's
what?
the thing that would give people an idea that it is sexual.
Do you have an issue with Hooters?
Not at all. But
No,
you know, Hooters is gone now, and it was sexualizing the
but like,
waitresses.
yeah.
Hooters and cans, they were doing the same thing.
So if you have nothing wrong with Hooters, then why are you saying that there's something wrong here?
I'm not saying it was wrong. I didn't say that. I was referring to the lady before, that she said that when people think about gay people, they sexualize them.
They
And
shouldn't
I said, of
sexualize them.
course,
Just be wait.
because their bodies, the few things that you see about them is sexualized by themselves.
No, the same. Okay, so this is a composition fallacy. It's saying that just because of a part of a group acts a particular way means that like the whole operates this way, right? Just because part of a group operates this way doesn't mean the whole. The same reasoning would then be applicable to say straight people. Just because some straight people, right, engage sexually in public or something like that, doesn't mean that you should generalize all straight people that way. Right, that's the point
No,
I'm getting to, is that you
no,
could go to
it
these different
doesn't
types
mean
of
that. It
bars
doesn't mean,
and
but
then associate with that entire group, but you don't do that. And we only do that for gay people. That's why.
well, because the few that they have is sexualized.
I don't know. I think that's your anecdotal experience with it. I
It
think
is,
that
but it's
many people
true.
would have different
It is, but it's
experiences.
true. Like, there are a lot more like just clubs and bars in New York, just with not really a niche, not really like gay or straight, just open for everybody. And you will see everything, drugs, sex, everything, right? So let's say you have one gay place, and it's extremely sexual. What people are gonna think that they all like that. But I get what you're saying. Not everyone is like that.
It's an unjustified mass generalization, right?
Yeah. Now, just about the subject of why being gay is wrong. I don't think it's wrong.
All right.
I
Well,
don't
I'm
think
just
it's
looking
wrong.
for people who disagree, but I appreciate you coming on.
Right. What you're saying about that lady before, you're trying to help white people have that idea of sexualizing them. But that's all. Right, man.
Okay,
Have a good night.
for sure. All right, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree, everyone. Tap that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes, y'all. All right, we're trying to get to the next person, everyone. We're going to be getting off here pretty soon. I've been on for a pretty long time today, everyone. Today was a great live, everyone. Follow me if you haven't already, everyone. I'm going to be on this until the 22nd on this account because I have been suspended until then. Yeah, I did get a haircut. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey,
How old are you?
I'm here. I am 50.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
It's something that I've struggled with for several years. Um, I myself am, and I'm asexual because of it. Because, like, I can't justify, like, when I was a kid, like, growing up in the 70s, like, it was a thing, like, the pray the gay away and send your kids to camp sort of thing was real prevalent. And so when I came out at the age of 18, my parents sent me to a camp to try and.
Sorry to hear that.
So I've struggled with that through my whole life. But then I want to put the twist out there and just kind of say, like, wouldn't it be equally as immoral for me being attracted to men to try and get into a relationship with a woman that I'm not attracted to?
Yeah, I think it's wrong to put you in a circumstance where you have to engage with someone that you don't want to engage with.
Because I think it would be more immoral for me to have a straight relationship than it would be
Yeah,
for
it would
me to
definitely be
just kind
more
of give
harmful. Yeah,
in
absolutely.
to having a gay relationship. Although,
Yeah,
like right now, it's kind of a lonely road because
it's not
I'm not
immoral.
in
It's not
any
immoral to
relationship.
engage in a gay relationship, right? As long as you're referencing an adult consenting relationship, there's
Right.
literally there's nothing wrong with that at all.
And that's where I'm kind of leaning, but it's still a struggle just because of everything been through in the past.
Yeah, I'm
So
sorry to
I'm
hear about
in no relationship. So just because of that struggle, it's something that I struggle with every day because of the upbringing and, being 50 and of the older generation. It's kind of better to be on the safe side of the Bible, I guess, than find yourself eternally damned, if you will.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by the Bible's message or by Christianity. I think that it's not going to be a justified claim to me, right? But is there anything you'd like to particularly touch on before I go on to a person who disagrees?
No, that's really just all I wanted to put out there is just I think it would be more immoral for me being attracted to the same sex to try and get into a relationship with a woman based on biblical claims that that's what's correct. Because I think in my mind that's more immoral because you're kind of fooling that person. You're playing with their emotions more
That's
so
true.
than anything. So,
And I mean, that could be considered as deception, right?
yes, absolutely.
Within a specific extent. But yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, everyone, give it a second, y'all. We're gonna go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We're just looking for some debates. Everyone, tap that screen. I'm trying to get on to the next person. Everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 29.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I do, yes.
Why so?
Okay, I'll tell you why. But last time you dropped me, right? Hopefully this time you don't drop me.
Why did I drop you last time?
Well, I was talking about the anus. What's the purpose of it, right? I'm trying to have a real conversation and like I want to get to the point of it, right? So hopefully this time.
You got to be trolling or something, then.
Nah, bro, I'm not trolling. I'm trying to be real. Okay, so I
Okay.
want to ask you.
I
Okay,
mean, I don't just drop people for no reason. So
I think you did. Okay, anywho, okay, let's
I
talk.
really don't. I really don't.
Well, it's cool. Okay, let's restart. Okay, what do you think is the purpose of the anus?
Well, it just depends on the circumstance in which a mind is engaging with an action and the intent behind it. But there are main functions. Main functions would be excreting waste.
What do you mean intent? Okay, so you mean you can put something inside of it?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that necessarily.
Bro, how? Tell me that, okay?
What do you mean? How is
Okay,
there
now,
something wrong with
okay,
it?
so now, so
What's
now,
wrong with is there something wrong with me putting something in my mouth?
1 second, okay? Let me say my thing, all right? So now, I explained last time, right, about you eating Chipotle or you eating like some kind of food, right? And let's say you end up going to the washroom and you have like a hard shit, right? And let's say you're constantly having that, okay? You're constantly having that, so you go to the doctor. Wait, hold on. Let me just clear this space. Too annoying. Okay, so now you're constantly having that, okay? Don't you think the doctor is going to recommend something to you?
Don't you
Yeah,
think
go
the
ahead.
doctor is going to recommend something to you? For what?
Like you're constantly having hard shits, right? Like you're eating food that's constantly making you have hard shits, right? Like something hard is coming out of your asshole, all right?
Like
Now,
hard? What do you mean by hard? Like,
like, okay, have you ever had a hard shit before?
would you get it? What about a colonoscopy? Would you get a colonoscopy? Is there something wrong with that?
If you're like in your late 40s and all that, yeah, but that's a medical procedure, right?
Yeah, but like, I mean, in that sense, there's something going up it, you know? I thought it was just for excreting waste.
No, no, but that's for a medical purpose, right?
Yeah,
Medical
but I
purpose.
thought it was just for excreting waste.
In general, it is, isn't it?
In general, it is, but in this
Okay,
circumstance,
so
it's
wait,
not.
hold on. So wait, hold on. So you're disclaiming a medical something medical to this, right? And what you think, all right, so just because you're doing it for medical purposes, you shouldn't do it for this reason either.
No, no, no. What I'm saying is that if you accept it within the context of the medical circumstances, I would ask you why.
Because maybe there might be something wrong over there, right? To check up. So
You
when
want
you
to
go
check up?
to
Sure. So there's some good reason, some sufficient reason to say that you should do this, right? So it's not in all circumstances that if you do something that that is against the context of the purpose or the main function that you're doing something wrong.
yeah, but then again, I'm saying, right, that's like a medical reason.
But
Okay,
again,
that's not medical
you're
reason,
going
okay?
outside of
Like
the
you're not gonna
context of the purpose.
okay,
If the
bro,
argument
you're
is
not
that
gonna
wait,
you're
if the
not gonna
argument
tear
is
out
that you have to
your
do something
stomach.
in accordance with this natural purpose, well, then you're violating it even in that sense.
Wait,
So
hold
it's
on.
not a
Are you
principle.
are you going to randomly tear out your stomach because that's what you want to do?
What?
Your stomach, okay, your stomach, all right? Like
How
let's
did
say
that?
you want to
How what? Where'd you?
so a doctor does that, okay, for medical reasons, right? So then I can use your same argument in that scenario as well. No?
No. What do you mean? What do you mean you can use it in that argument? What?
Okay, let's say something is wrong with your kidneys, okay? You have kidney stones, all right? A doctor is going to operate on you, all right? He's going to have he's gonna he's gonna have to surgically, right? Remove a piece of your skin in order to get over there, okay? So in the same context, right, in which you're using your argument, right? Should I use it in that case too? So no, the doctor shouldn't do that just because.
I'm so confused how this is like even associated.
Well, the point is, okay, you're doing that for medical reasons, all right? But in general circumstances, okay, let's not isolate it because I know that's what you like to do. You like to isolate everything, right? You don't like to generalize, right? Where the truth is evident. You like to isolate things. So I isolated that for you to contradict you, okay?
No, I don't see
So
how you
listen,
isolated anything. Can you just explain?
I'll explain later. So okay, so in this case,
No,
right?
don't explain later. Explain right now.
Okay, I'll explain to you right now. Okay, so if in that case, right, a surgery is okay, all right, and in the medical case where a colonoscopy is okay, right? Now, in general circumstances, right, where if something is wrong with your anus, right, where you're constantly having to take, like, say, large shits, obviously, right? Now, how is it okay for someone to stick something inside that, something big and something hard?
No, you didn't tell me how you literally just made a claim, dude. You just holy fuck, you must be
No,
trolling.
no, you're
You
not
I
following
literally
me, bro.
maybe
That's
there
the
was a
thing.
reason why you didn't explain what I just asked you for at all. What did I just ask you for?
You just asked me right now, okay?
What did I just ask you?
How is that relevant to what you just asked me before.
Yeah, and you didn't even bring that up. That you
I'm
didn't even
listening to
talk
you, bro.
about
I'm
it.
listening to you. No, I did. Okay, but you're not listening to me. That's the thing. Okay, I just
I
explained to
literally
you the
did just
reason.
listen.
I isolated you just how you like to isolate people. Okay, I'm using the same
I
thing
don't
that
know
you
what you
do
mean by
against other
isolate.
people.
You didn't explain what I asked you for at all.
You said a colonoscopy. Okay, so I explained about the anus and everything. Okay, how something hard coming out of there and something hard going. Okay, so then you explain. Okay, the colonoscopy. So you're sticking. Then I explained that's for medical reasons, right? And then I said, okay, how about if someone has a kidney stone? Okay, so in that case, we shouldn't try to get inside that person's body to try to remove those kidney stones. All right?
I'm not arguing, dude. You are actually. There's no way you're saying this. This isn't my argument. I was doing an internal critique of your view. I'm not arguing that doing any medical procedure is bad or doing things against a natural
Well,
function
that's the
that
thing I'm
you
trying
see
to
as this
say.
is wrong, right? This was an argument against you. I have no issue with this at all. Like literally zero. Like I think that you should do medical things.
No, no,
Absolutely.
no. But
This
the
is why
thing
it's not
is,
even
okay,
relevant to my point because I never made an argument that was even related to that. What are you
but you
talking
tried to.
about?
You tried to. Okay, anywho, all right.
I didn't try to make
For
any
me,
argument. What argument did I make? What are you talking
the
about?
colonoscopy argument, all right. So
The colonoscopy, that was an internal critique of your view. That's not something that was justifying a position that I held.
yeah, and this is my critique of your view. Okay. So anywho, all right.
You're not critiquing. What are you talking about?
Let's get back to the point. Okay, we're diverting. All right. So let's get back to the point. The point is, okay, so if something hard comes out of there, right, and you go to the doctor, okay, and he says, all right, this is a treatment, okay, so your shits can be a little softer, all right? Now, I want to ask you, okay, do you think it's okay for a guy to stick something hard up there in
There's
general?
nothing wrong with someone, dude. Are you gotta be trolling? What's wrong?
I'm not, bro.
Just tell me
Holy
what's
shit!
wrong. Seriously, tell me what's wrong.
This is why you dropped me last time, okay? I'm
Yeah,
just saying
it
it's not
actually
natural.
is. You gotta be trolling. Can you tell me what's wrong?
Okay, so the whole point of my argument, right? It goes back to procreation, okay? What's what's the intention of each function of the body part, all right? Now, I don't want you to jump into that, okay?
Again,
I
we
don't want
already
you to
went
jump
outside
into
of the
that.
context of the function, okay? And you said it was fine.
No, hold up. I had to bring this up from the get-go just to make everyone understand because people don't understand for some reason, right? Unless I put it up to you in your face, okay? Unless I put it in your face, then you're not
You
gonna
don't have to
understand
put
it.
it in my
Okay?
face. You can literally just explain it to me. You haven't been coherent with your explanations of
Nah,
me
bro, I
telling you
have to
real.
do that. That's the thing, right? Okay. So anywho, all right. So now going back to the procreation, okay? Every body part is intended for a specific function, okay? So for a woman, obviously, right, her vagina, right, like man's
Can
penis,
I just ask you a question about this because we're talking about natural teleology? What is the natural function of your mouth?
is to digest food and not everything. Yeah, it's like that's where digestion first occurs in your mouth.
Digestion, talk.
Yes,
Okay.
saliva.
Is it wrong for me to kiss someone?
No,
No. So also kissing is the third one?
no, there's nothing wrong with kissing
Yeah. So why is there nothing wrong with kissing?
because it mentally stimulates a person.
It mentally so can sex.
Okay, so oral. So last time, as I explained before you dropped me, right? Last time I explained oral sex, right? It stimulates the penis. A lot of guys they cannot get hard unless they get that, right? So oral sex, I see nothing wrong with that, right? And you jumped and said, okay, so can anal sex. I'm like, how the fuck can anal sex stimulate? What? Like, does that even make sense, bro?
This is where he was trolling. This is exactly what I mean. Clearly, it fucking does.
This is not trolling. How am I trolling you, dude? Like, think
Dude,
about
you
it.
you want me to bring someone up who's gay who can tell you right now that they get stimulation from it?
From the ass, bro.
When they engage in intercourse, there's a it's called a P spot in the male asshole, right? And then there's also like again, you said the male member, right? Gosh, bro, like
Bro,
why
my
do
whole argument. Okay, my whole argument is about procreation. That's what my whole argument is about. Okay, I had to bring these things up. Okay, just to bring it up to your face. All right, but if you want to bring a gay dude,
so if you want to relate to procreation, okay, I'll ask you about this. If you want to relate to procreation, is it immoral
uh-huh,
for me to engage in intercourse with a woman who's infertile?
uh, moral or immoral?
Is it immoral?
No.
No. So but it doesn't lead to reproduction.
Yeah, but in the immediate moment, okay, you don't know that. in the immediate moment.
I did. Thank you for the sunglasses. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If she's infertile and I do know that I'm with her, let's say we're married, I know she's infertile. I know that it's not going to lead to reproduction. Okay.
So
Is it wrong for me to do that?
No. Because at the end of the day, okay, both of you feel attraction for each other, right? And she gets stimulated down there, and you get stimulated down there as well.
Same thing with gay men.
No, bro. Okay, hold up, all right? With gay men, it's completely
Appreciate
different.
the cowboy hat. Thank you.
With you and a straight woman, okay, there is. I'll talk about that later, okay? With you and a straight woman, it's clear cut. Like in the immediate moment, you both feel attraction. You get erect, she gets.
Same thing with two gay men. They both feel attraction.
Bro,
they don't feel attraction when they're with women, though.
Hold up, a gay man and a gay man, they both get erect. Okay, a gay man does not get wet.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. They both are into it.
Yeah, they get erect. Exactly. Okay, so
yeah, what's wrong with that?
I think it's a mental defect.
How is it a mental defect? Thank you for the hand. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Because it leads nothing to procreation.
Like, thank you for the superpower. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So is it a mental defect for me to want to engage in intercourse with a woman who's infertile?
No, it's not.
No, okay, but that doesn't lead to reproduction either.
In general, okay, all right. So let's not isolate things, okay? Like
no, not in general. In this circumstance.
Yes, in the circumstance too. Okay, so let's circumstance general and everything. Okay, in general, when you come across a woman, all right, in that immediate moment, you feel attraction towards them.
Okay? Yeah, and the same thing happens with gay men and other men.
Okay, hold up. Okay, bro, let me explain my tip. Okay, in the immediate moment, you feel attraction towards them, all right, and you want to do that act, and she's gonna feel attraction towards you. Okay, hopefully she tells you, all right. She tells you her body count. She tells you her everything, right? And you both get into it, all right? But with a gay dude, okay, in the immediate moment, you know he's not gonna have any kids.
What are you talking about? Wait, you can gay people have kids all the time.
Name me one gay guy that got pregnant.
Yeah, no. Again, I appreciate the cuddle with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're talking about like you can have kids through IVF, in vitro fertilization, right? Adoption, right? There are many ways that gay people can start families.
Okay, did you just listen to what I said?
You're talking about through intercourse with their partner?
What did I just say?
If you're talking about intercourse with their partner, again, that was applicable to the scenario with the infertile woman and the man.
Okay, let me repeat myself, okay?
No, again, did you hear what I said, right? If it was the case that you're talking about reproduction.
I'm listening to you, bro. I'm listening to you, okay? I'm clearly listening to everything you're saying, all right? I'm not missing a point, right? But I feel like you're not listening to me, okay?
What did I miss? What did I miss?
In the immediate moment, okay? Right then and there, all right? When you see a woman and you feel attracted to her, all right? You're not going to be thinking, okay, is she sterile? Can she have kids and all that, right? In the immediate moment, with two gay dudes, okay? They both know right away. You understand? Okay?
That's literally not fucking relevant, right? Because again, we're talking about in a scenario in which I already know that she's infertile.
No, but you're isolating my argument, okay? You're telling me.
We already know that she's infertile. What's your point?
It doesn't matter, okay? Even if you already know, right?
It literally does matter. What are you talking about?
Your body doesn't know that, okay? Why is it that your body...
What do you mean your body doesn't fucking know it?
Why do you...
Your body doesn't know the difference between it being a man and being a woman. You understand that, right? You still hit the O point.
Why do you still get
Your body doesn't tell a fucking difference. Your body doesn't tell a difference between your fucking hand and engaging in intercourse with someone. Your body doesn't fucking know.
Okay, you're jumping, all right? Why do you still...
I'm not jumping, and I'm literally addressing the point.
No, you're not, okay? But
I am, absolutely. I just address the point.
You're jumping, okay? It's cool, all right? It's cool if
you want to address what I just said at all?
You're talking about the hand and all that, all right?
Thank you for the sunglasses. I appreciate it.
Those are minor cases, okay? That's the thing, all right? You always bring up minor cases, okay? But in this case, right, what I'm talking about, all right, is erection, right? When you are next to an attractive woman, okay, you're gonna feel an erection no matter what. That's just like facts.
That's not true.
It is what it is. Yeah, unless you're impotent, bro. Okay, then. Okay.
What do you fucking mean? What? You see someone that you find attractive and immediately you get aroused?
Well, obviously, like not right away like that, okay? But when you're talking to each other, you're getting to know each other and all that, right? Like there is no talk about, are you sterile and all that, okay? Yes.
Technically there could be conversation. Like you could ask someone that
It's
you're dating,
sexual
right?
and all
Like,
that.
are you looking to have children? Right? That is a common question that is asked amongst people that are looking for long-term relationships. What do you
Bro,
mean,
I'm talking
bro?
about intercourse. That's what I'm talking about, okay? In the
Yeah.
immediate moment, okay, intercourse, all right? When intercourse happens, all right, you are going to get erect and she's going to get wet down there.
Bro, dude, I don't know why this is relevant, right? Again, two gay men are going to be attracted to each other either, and they're going to be aroused as well. Like, what's your point?
The whole point is, okay, is that the man and the woman, they're preparing for procreation. Whereas
No, they're not. In that
two
scenario, they're
gay dudes,
preparing for engaging in intercourse.
okay, bro, two gay dudes, all right, they're preparing for.
What's up?
My bad.
They're both preparing to engage in intercourse.
They're preparing for nothing. That's what
No,
they're
they're
preparing
preparing
for.
to engage in intercourse.
Holy damn, bro. No, bro, they're preparing for nothing because
Dean,
essentially
appreciate the
they're
roses,
asking the
bro.
means of
Appreciate the
nothing.
roses, Dean.
Okay, the whole point of life, all right, if we're going to take God away from it, and I'm not going to come to that, all right, it's about self-preservation and procreation, all right? Now, preservation, okay, cool. Procreation, that's like the second thing, all right? So a gay dude and a gay dude, what are they really creating? Tell me that.
Thank you, I appreciate it, Dean. What do you in that scenario, they're not producing any life from engaging in intercourse, but neither is the scenario in which I would be engaging in intercourse with a woman who is infertile. And you did say that that was immoral, right? You don't think it's immoral if I'm celibate. You don't think
Hold
it's
up,
immoral
hold up,
if
hold
I
up.
use contraception, I'm guessing.
1 second, okay? With the woman, okay, that's not the baseline. The baseline with a man and a woman is that she can't have a baby. All right. So yes, there are fringes, there are exceptions, obviously, right, where a woman cannot have a baby, right? But the baseline, like let's say a woman,
Wait. What are you talking about? 20%, 19% of women in the United States above the age of 18 are infertile.
yeah, bro, those 19%, okay, they're above 50 or something, all right, where they've had menopause and whatever.
Okay, a good amount of people are. What's your point?
The point is, at one point they were fertile.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going back to the baseline now. Okay, the baseline is that a woman can procreate, right? Whereas a man and a man can't. That's where I'm trying to come from. Anywho, bro, I gotta go. Okay, I gotta go back to my job. It was
Wait,
good
why do you,
talking.
what? Wait, what time is it for you right now?
Over here it's 9:30.
It's 9:30. So it's 9:30 p.m. and you're at work.
Yeah, bro.
Do you do night shift or something?
No. I got two jobs, so I gotta work from 6 a.m. until 2, and then from 4 p.m. until 10.
Oh, okay. All right, damn, bro. I guess okay. I don't know why you're on debating then.
Well, I gotta. When I go on my breaks, I gotta entertain myself somehow, right? So I come onto this.
Okay, for sure.
All right, bro. Take care.
Chat, what are the guesses? What are the guesses, everyone? What are the guesses? Chat? What are the guesses? All right, by the way, everyone, tap that screen. Let's try to get to 1 million likes. Maybe we will be able to get to tonight. I'm probably going to be on maybe for another 30 minutes, y'all. Maybe for another 30 minutes or so. We're going to be doing some more debates, everyone. If you think that being gay is wrong, make sure to send a guest request right now. By the way, we're on my second account right now because I got suspended on my main account for misinformation for a week. I will be on my main account and back on the 22nd again. So on Friday, everyone. But yeah, follow me here if you haven't already, everyone. This is where I'm going to be in the meantime. But let me go on to the next person again. If you disagree, if you think that being gay is wrong, make sure to send a guest request right now, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, what's up, man? How are you doing?
How old are you? Yo, Matt, thank you so much for the whale diving. I appreciate it, man. Thank
So
you.
loud. 34.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I like to rephrase, bro. I don't think it's wrong, but I do think there's problem. Hello?
Yeah, what's the problem?
I do think you get lower testosterone when you're gay.
Can you give me evidence of that?
Yes, there's multiple studies. There's multiple. Hello?
The laughing gives it away. It's too much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I am 31.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I don't think so, but there's a limitation.
All right. Well,
By
I'm
the way,
just looking for people
oh,
who disagree, but I appreciate you coming up.
okay, wait, sir. I'm just gonna point out something, a recent problem in here in the Philippines. I'm from Philippines, by the way.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just looking for people who disagree right now. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We don't have much time left, so I want to make sure to get some debates, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 32 still.
Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Oh, keep up the good work, Parker. It's good to speak to you, mate. I've spoke to you before. You're absolutely legend. I like your t-shirt. I've got Tom and Jerry coat as well. You're absolute legend. Just want to say, keep up your streaming. Amazing lad. Doing a good job, mate.
Okay, so, yeah, so do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Oh God, no, yeah. I basically didn't know how to cancel the request after
Okay,
you
good.
said
Don't
done.
worry. I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much.
All
No
right,
views,
then.
man.
All right. Top bloke.
All right, for sure. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree. All just looking for some debates, everyone. Tap that screen, everyone. Parker's face looks smooth. It's the Accutane chat. Accutane went wild. Make sure to look. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Okay, let me go to the next person. Again, only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. Just looking for some debates, everyone. Tap that screen. Help share the live, everyone. Subtitles, please. I have them on this account. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
38.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong?
Yeah, I do.
Why so?
I'm just surprised I got on here. So I'm kind of caught off guard. I was expecting to sit and wait for a while, but there's a few things. I mean, I know you're going to sit here and you're going to go over a bunch of studies and things like that, but where I stand is that we were all created, that this world just didn't happen by happenstance, and the body is a mechanism, and man and woman, that's the only way to procreate. So that's kind of where I stand.
Is it immoral for me to engage in intercourse with a woman who's infertile?
No, but that's just, a very small percentage. And, I would like to quote, I think Matt Wallace, or I forget who I'm quoting, but, women of nature are fertile, so.
Yeah, of the nature just
It's the
means
way. So
typically.
I go back to, we were created, so it was the way it was intended. Whether things like that happen is just out of the ordinary.
Yeah, so of the nature just means typically. So Matt Walsh is contradicting himself when he would be saying that there are necessary and sufficient conditions for a woman, and then also using the word typically, all right, of the nature. Because of the nature doesn't imply that they have this characteristic. It implies that people generally within this category have this characteristic. So that's the fundamental
Yeah,
issue from his
generally. So that's kind of what
perspective.
I'm saying. Generally, they have that characteristic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so sure, right? No one's necessarily
But I
disputing
would
that,
say that,
right?
let's say a man-to-man relationship, I get, you can be attracted to the same sex, and you can have, whatever attraction you come to find throughout your upbringing, but it's, the anus doesn't lubricate. So it's not designed to have intercourse in that sense.
Oh
Going
no,
back to me
there
believing
are
we were
ways.
created.
If you talk to
Well,
gay
you,
men, there are natural ways of lubrication
it's not the same as
that
man and woman.
exist.
A woman's vagina,
I mean, but there can be circumstances where women don't necessarily produce the same sorts of
there
levels,
are
right,
those
as other women,
circumstances. I can't
right? And
argue
in
that,
that
but
scenario, it's still not
generally,
immoral.
well, your first question was, is it wrong or immoral? I'm not taking the immoral stance, I guess, as much. I mean, I think it is immoral, but
Wrong and
that's not the
immoral
argument
are the two
I'm fighting
same,
right now.
two of the same.
No, I don't. That's not the same.
What do you see? What's the difference that you see
between wrong and immoral?
Yeah.
I mean, you can have a math question you get wrong, but that ain't immoral.
No, but wrong in this sense, right? Wrong in this sense would be relating to morality, like morally wrong.
In the argument you're trying to make, sure, but not the one I'm making. I'm saying it's wrong. It doesn't work. It's not intended to work. You have to find outside sources to make it work.
Well, that's an argument that relates to God's existence, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's whatever God it is. There's many gods, many religions, but there is, in my belief, we weren't, just this didn't just happen. You don't have children, and I wish this wasn't the argument I was making with you today. I wish it was a different subject you had gone over in the past. But, it's just, you can't look at this world and think it just happened accidentally, and until you have, like, a guy you were arguing with the other day said, until you have kids, you'll never understand. And it's really true. Like, when your child comes out after 9 months and finds its way to the breast, and this thing is a whole mechanical system, and from down to every organism and every molecular structure, that it just, to me, is unbelievable. To me, we're almost at a disagreement in the sense that you don't think we were created. So, but I'm going to fight the hill that we were created.
Yeah, I don't think that we were created, because I don't think that complexity, right, or functionality implies a creation, right, or implies a creator, right? In the same type of way that when you relate to God, the idea of God, you're not saying that because God is complex or because God functions in a particular way, that necessarily means that God had to have been created by something.
Explain what you're talking about. What are you trying to get to here?
Yeah, so you're not saying because God is complex, right, or because God functions in a particular way, that because of those reasons that God requires a creator.
I don't know how we got to God being... No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, exactly, right? So in the same way that those properties within God wouldn't require that he needs a creator, those properties within the universe wouldn't require that the universe needs a creator.
There's no way for us to understand that, so that's not even an argument I'm gonna make. It's possible that God has a creator.
Well, you wouldn't say it's possible that God is a creator because God's eternal, right?
Yeah, I don't. You're talking to as if God is this person. It's quantum physics. It's beyond our reality. It's beyond our understanding. You can't, like you didn't know what the world was when you were in your mother's womb, or when you were a sperm cell. It's just as much. We don't know what's after this, and that's irrelevant to this conversation. From where
if we don't know what's after this, then why are we making a claim? You're the one that's saying that you believe in this particular religion. You believe in this explanation of what's
I believe
after,
that we were
right?
created, and you can look at a man and woman and how...
Hold up. You're simultaneously saying that while also saying that you don't have the ability to know. So you're kind of double speaking within that respect.
Say it again.
You're kind of double speaking within this respect because you're saying that we don't have the ability to know or to understand this phenomena, but then you're also saying that the explanation of heaven, hell, angels, demons, God, all of that's accurate, and that comes after us. Okay, so you're saying that we don't know and then we know simultaneously.
You're putting words in my mouth. Never once did I bring up God's demons and angels and Christianity as you're trying to throw that on me. I'm a Christian.
You are a Christian, right?
I am a Christian.
That's why I said that.
But I never made that argument, so you're just assuming, which is ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure you said something within the conversation that made me think that, but I do apologize.
Well, there's a lot of different religions.
Right.
Sure. Why do you think it's what's your biggest argument that it's not wrong? Just live, love, and laugh?
So here's a few things for me. So, one would be that I don't think that there's anything wrong with an adult consenting relationship engaging in intercourse, right? We'd have to give like a reason as to why it's wrong under my notion. I don't think that we have that reason. We can also say that humans are more similar than different. Therefore, right, you treat them the same unless you have good reason to treat them differently. So, right, straight people are not considered wrong, right? So the same thing would also be applied to gay people unless there'd be good reason to treat them differently.
Well, I treat them the same, but I would equivalate just sin is coming from the Christian speak. Sin is sin. Like every
Well,
sin is
by treat them the same, I also mean in terms of judgment.
Everybody
like,
judges everybody. I mean,
well, no, I meant like
I'm
in
not.
terms of like whether or not you consider one to be a sin or the other, right? That's kind of what I was referencing there.
Yeah, I got you. I don't know. Just I think it's wrong. I would never not have anybody as my friend for any other reason, as far as any scale of sin would go. Well, I don't want to say any scale of sin, but just in that sense. But to me, it's just not right. And I want to kind of bring up a thing. At what point, like in a perfect utopia where everybody's treated equally and all this stuff, I mean, is there any threshold that you hold like that you would stop? Let's say anybody's narrative, anybody like I don't want to get political, but then you would just use the left's narrative and that everybody can just do whatever they want out in public. You can have sex with whoever you want to sex with, wherever you want to have sex. Like, where is the threshold that you would start saying, okay, that's wrong?
In public, I don't think you should be able to engage in intercourse in public.
Okay, so then, you would see gay parades that, and this is
Pride parades
social media.
Don't engage in sex in public.
There's plenty of evidence that suggests otherwise. There's
can you
suggestive. I mean, it's all over the internet, dude. I've seen plenty of it where you see, I mean, what's his face in front of the White House taking off her top? I mean, it's not sex, but that's very sexual.
Someone taking off an individual's top at the White House?
Yeah, to expose their breasts.
Yeah, and is that an area that is considered like where you can go topless, right? Because I know that there are some places in the U.S. where you can.
Well, I'm going back to the threshold. There are plenty of other parades where you have people indecently exposing themselves or making sexual.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think that's common, right? Amongst
no, I'm not going to say it's common, but
right, the same way
there's
that's
also
not common
slippery
in public,
slopes.
Yeah, there are some public.
There's also
No, there's not. That's a fallacy.
Okay, talk about that then. Why wouldn't people then start going above and beyond and doing it just because they can?
No, I'm not saying that you can do this. No one's arguing that you can, right? Just indecently expose yourself.
Right. But it happens, and then once...
Yeah, and we're arguing against that. No one's arguing that should happen.
But, see, that's... I would agree in that sense, but again, the slippery slope is that there is groups of people out there that will want that to happen, and that does let that happen. Just groups in general. Not like an actual
I don't think that's prevalent. Where I don't see this at all. Like, where's that at? I debate with people on the internet.
It's the same thing with like a gun argument. Like I fight for the Second Amendment right, but you have groups of people out there that do violent acts. Okay, and then you're sitting here trying to create legislation against that.
Right, we can point to that.
I can actually point to.
Hold up. You were talking about people online promoting this. Right, saying this is okay. I'm asking you, is there anywhere you can point to me online where people are saying that this is okay?
No, I don't have any studies in front of me. I see it.
It's not a study. It's just like any like creator that said this even. That said it's okay.
I mean, what's the difference between a creator saying it or 5 individuals in a parade that just do it? It's the same thing.
Well, you were talking about people promoting this within society. I still think it's wrong that it's happening at those places. Like, again, we're against this happening.
Okay, that's a common ground we can find, and so then you do have to start opposing that at somewhere, right? And I think that's a lot of it, because as a Christian,
yeah. Why do you think that I can't oppose like indecent exposure? I'm confused.
No,
why do you think that's like a view that I had to hold?
Well, it's the same reason why you have specific views in your head and assumptions about me and people like me. So, and it's a big issue.
No one on my side is arguing this.
I'm sure there are some. You can't speak.
Right. No, who have you debated on my side that said that?
What are you talking about?
Who have you debated on my side that said that?
I'm not talking about any influential person on TikTok that you might be friends with. I'm just saying people that
are left-wing. Just tell me anyone.
Yeah. I mean, that are left. Well, I don't want to say every gay person's left wing. There's plenty of conservative gay people, but
yeah, that's why I'm saying
the movement.
Yeah, what left wing people? Any
I don't
social
know.
media platform, you can give me anything.
You like again, you caught me off guard by accepting this, so I'm kind of flat. I'm just kind of off guard, but I don't have any of that right now. But I
Sure.
will be keeping an eye out so that the next time I do get an argument, get onto this debate with you, I'll bring evidence. You know, I was gonna say that the far left and far right have a lot of common ground, and it's just I wish we could find more common ground and talk things thoroughly, because I don't have a problem with people doing what they do in life. Okay,
Would
the
you refer
issues
to
that
yourself as the far right, by the way?
I align myself with their beliefs. Like I don't want to say I'm far right because I'm not extremely political. I don't understand the whole political system. I'm not
I
educated
wouldn't.
in that.
By the way, I wouldn't refer to yourself as far right because people, right? Far right means like schnazi, right? Like that type of far
I
right.
appreciate you bringing that to my attention, and I'll try not to.
No, I'm just saying you probably don't want to associate yourself with that because I don't think that you believe that.
No, I don't.
I think what you just meant is that you're just like a conservative.
To me, yeah, I'm extremely conservative, and I'm fighting what I'm fighting against in this, are those thresholds, those times where it's like that's not okay. You can't do that in public. You can't have a 5-year-old next to a transvestite who is half naked.
Yo,
and
you mean a trans person? A trans person?
Huh?
A trans person?
Is that politically correct?
Yeah, well, no, I mean that terminology that you're using is referred to as like a slur, right?
Okay, I guess I could see that. A trans person next to a trans person doing indecent exposure, not indecent exposure, but doing indecent things in front of children. We see that on the right. I'm assuming it's the social bubble.
Yeah,
I don't.
So first of all, the likelihood of this happening is extraordinarily low. There aren't that many trans people, and then also a person who would be trans that would want to engage.
But I would argue that I agree that it is small, but it's getting bigger. And when people are manipulated through videos and social media, and it's blown up, and more children
people aren't being manipulated into being trans, right? That people.
You
all
don't
have,
think
have
that
been
there's
trans for a
okay?
while.
You don't think there's trans people out there that have changed their mind, that revert back to their original sex, and possibly because
you don't revert in terms of sex, right? But there are people who are detransitioners, right? But detransitioners make up probably I think it's like less than 1%. It's like I can't quite remember the particular number, but I know it's less than 1%.
What, the trans community, or the
no,
ones
the
that
amount of detransitioners?
Detransit. You don't. Why wouldn't you use the word revert?
It's the same thing.
Yeah, to me, it's the same thing. But there are people that
like revert to what they were.
We see a different slippery slope. We see a different slippery slope. Like, be who you want to be. I have no problem with that. But and this is going to piss your whole community off, the whole 2,700. There's probably some in there that might agree with me. But Disney is there's so much subliminal messaging in Disney movies, and kids grow up with this subliminal messaging, and they are manipulated in that sense.
So you think people are being pushed to be gay and trans because of Disney?
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
what in Disney shows that? If anything, people are manipulated by Disney to be straight because of like the Disney shows showing like straight couples kissing and engaging with each other.
There's plenty of not straight couples coming out in Disney shows these days. And
wait, these days? No, I'm talking like in my childhood, in the childhood of everyone else, right? That's probably in this chat mostly, right?
Yeah.
We went through a time where there were no people who were gay, right, in the shows at all. Like literally none. It was all people who were straight. It was just straight couples. That's all we saw. So were we programmed to be straight then? Were we manipulated into being straight?
No, I don't want to say. I mean, because I go back to.
So then why is it manipulating people whenever it relates to gay people?
Because I go back to I think being gay is wrong.
Yeah, so it's only manipulation because you disagree with it. That's it.
It was standard before.
No, there is no distinction in terms of how it exists in school systems, right? You're just saying it's manipulation because you disagree with it. That's it.
Yeah. No, because I feel like it was the right thing at the time. I think it's, heterosexuality is the way we were designed. It's the way things work.
And that relies upon your notion of God, the understanding and believing
That's why
God.
Movies were created based off of...
How do you know that God exists?
Because of you look out into the world and you can see it.
Yeah, I look in the
just
world, and that doesn't tell me a God exists. What tells you that a God exists just by looking in the world?
because of how I can take a deep breath and my existence, let alone, yeah, that's telling me that
That
something
doesn't tell
created
me
us.
anything created me,
That
Not
we
in
can
terms
have
of
a
a being,
conversation
like
about.
that as a mind, right? There could be something that led to the cause of my existence, but that doesn't have to be a God. There could be naturalistic causes.
I just don't see it. I don't, are we talking? Are we debating religion now? Are we?
Well, I
I
mean,
know that's
if
kind
the
of we're
basis
at
of
it.
your claim is in religion, well, then absolutely we can, right? Because I think that's an unjustified premise for considering that being gay is immoral or wrong.
Yeah. Then I don't just. I mean, there's no point to debate that because uh, there's no
What
way
do you
you could
mean?
change.
What do you mean? You're saying
Way
that
you can change my
people are
mind on
being
that
manipulated into being. There's no way I can change your mind, even if I were to give you a contradiction
for
in
my
the
belief
Christian,
and,
yeah, in the Christian notion.
sure, yeah, there's no way you could.
There's no way I could. Okay, so first off, when it relates to this, do you think God is free will?
Um, do I think God has free will, or do I think God gave us free will? What's the
Do you think
question?
God Himself has free will?
Uh, yeah, I guess I
Can
do.
God
I
can
mean,
God do
I don't
evil?
think God has a brain. But sure,
Can can God do evil?
is he is he capable of it?
Yeah.
Uh, there's no. Let me. So if you don't stretch your imagination to the point where if you had complete knowledge of everything in this universe, just understood it all inside and out, saw time
No, can God do evil? I'm just asking.
forward and backwards, that
This
there would
isn't
be no
even.
reason.
We haven't even gotten close to the contradiction yet. I'm just trying to establish the basis of like the arguments.
I can only assume that he is capable of doing. No, I don't think
He
he's
just never
capable.
does. He's capable but never does, or he can't do it.
I would. That's almost an impossible question, man, because he would never do it.
He would never do it, but he can.
I don't know, but sure, let's go down that rabbit hole.
Okay, so when it relates to that, then I mean we can answer under either or. It doesn't really matter. So you can have free will, and you can never do evil, right? So it's logically possible for an entity to have free will and always do the right thing, right? So then there's going to be so God is all knowing, all powerful, and all good. So essentially, let me try to explain it this way. There's going to be an infinite set of possible worlds that God can choose from,
Yeah.
right? So for example, right, is there a probability that you can do the right thing today in all choices you do today?
Yeah.
And if I were to ask you that same question every single day for the rest of my life, would that be true? That I have a
Yeah.
probability of doing the right thing every single time.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's one world out there at least, because there's 0.000000001% chance that I always do the right thing. And I did it freely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we multiply that comparative to every other human that exists in history, right? And there's a very, 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 very minute probability that every single person on the planet would have done the right thing in every single scenario freely, right? Just based upon their free choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is one world that God can create in which there is free will and there's no evil, right? So there's a choice that God has. God has a choice between a reality where there's free will and evil and a reality when there's free will and no evil. Since we live in the reality in which there is evil, right, that tells us that God would prefer evil or sin over no evil, which would result in a contradiction because evil or sin is against God's preference, right? So this would just result in a statement that says God would prefer a world in which God has a preference against.
Again, you're assuming you even know how this God would even operate outside of our world. You're just going off some.
That's in the Bible. It's listed in the Bible.
What is?
These different characteristics that I just referenced, these are listed in the Bible.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, it's hard for me to comprehend what even. I kind of following you. I understand what you're saying
I can
to
go
some
over it
extent.
again if you'd like.
No, you're saying that God could have either created a world, free will, where there is
And
people that
sin,
have
or free will and no sin.
right, but we have no idea why he even created this world to begin with, and the fact that we sin isn't his sin. Like,
Well, we know that God is all good, so that means that God is going to pick the most preferred world, right? And we know that God has a preference against
we don't
sin.
know why he created. We don't know the meaning of life. We don't know what happens after this world. It could be just so that we experience this world and come to love him as who he is.
Well, you can think that in a second, but well, if it's to come to a particular state of knowledge, of like being in a knowledge claim where we want to be near him. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate the hat and mustache. Thank you so much. The experience is unnecessary. God can just give us this knowledge without the experience, so there's no point in that. But when it the point we're saying is that.
But going back to the father-son analogy, I don't want my son just to love me because I can have him love me.
No.
So we don't.
The point is they still have free will. So they're still doing it freely. They're just freely doing the right thing. Would you rather have your kid freely get into trouble or freely do the right thing?
I would like for him to freely do whatever he's going to do.
Yeah, which happens in either scenario. Would you rather him freely do the right thing, or would you rather him freely get into trouble? Clearly,
I would rather him do the right thing, but whatever he does, I still love him. Like, if he does the wrong thing, I'm not going to force him to do the right thing.
Sure,
if I could create
you're not
a world,
forcing in this scenario. You're not forcing, right? God's never forcing.
No, I am. You're saying if I could create my
Like,
child to either do good or do bad.
No, you just
as in God creating a world that doesn't sin or does sin, free will wise.
No, God knowing what they're going to do and selecting the world based on that doesn't mean that God determined them to do that. Because in this scenario, their free will was still the one that determined it, right? It was just God that ended up selecting the world.
To me, that's just so, like, your mind goes in so many places. I fucking hate half the arguments you make, man. I just
I'm sorry, man, but like these are the reasons why I don't believe anymore. Like these
are the reasons why you don't sleep at night.
No, I do sleep at night. I sleep a very great amount. The bags in my eyes, they're genetic. I have them regardless how much I sleep. But like I literally I can't rationalize a belief like this. I would like to believe in like there being a heaven or there being some great reality after we die, but I don't have the ability to rationalize it. And these are some of the reasons as to why. I mean, I've done a good amount of thinking in relation to this. I'm not just like saying this because I like hate God or something. A lot of people think that any person who's an atheist just because they're vengeful against this notion of God. I'm not vengeful. I just think it's incoherent.
Yeah, but so your belief is that this world just came to be. It just particles collided.
It's not from nothing, right? I don't know what explains the world, all right? And that's why I don't like making conclusions on it. I don't think there's a sufficient explanation, right? But when I give like explanations like that with the fundamental particle view, that's like I'm taking different explanations and I'm saying that one requires less assumptions than the other, yet still explains the same question, so it's more likely to be true within that respect. I'm not saying
for society to prosper. For society to prosper and continue to evolve, I believe the fundamentals of the nuclear family, right? And so that's largely based. What my beliefs are on is that these slippery slopes can cause deterioration in society in that sense. And with the nuclear family, when you got a mom, a dad.
What do you mean slippery slopes? Because slippery slope is a fallacy. You're just saying that like, if it gets worse, but right, us accepting gay people and trans people doesn't mean that we're accepting all these.
We have accepted them. Like they're accepted. They're almost they're allowed to get. They're accepted. Like
no,
what?
Actually, let's be so real, right? No, they're not. That's why these lives exist. That's why I'm debating people. Is because there's a push against the acceptance of these people.
There's a push against kids having trans people, is that right? Come into their schools half naked, or I don't want to say half naked because you're gonna be like, "Where's the?"
But that has nothing to do with trans people or gay people. It has everything to do with showing sexual stuff to children, which would be bad regardless of whether or not they're trans, regardless whether or not they're gay, regardless whether or not they're straight. So when
but that's happening, and people are pushing for that to happen.
When people associate it with being gay and being straight and whatnot. Or being trans has nothing to do with those things, and that's exactly what the bigotry is based in.
The whole thing with
pride.
The whole thing with your flag back there with pride and is pushing a narrative, is pushing it into my kids, into my into my beliefs.
Yeah,
no,
accept
it's
gay people.
Okay, we've already accepted them.
No, we haven't.
And I hate saying it like that. Like,
no, we haven't accepted gay people on the extent that we think that we should.
So when does it stop? When is your belief on acceptance fully realized? Like,
when gay people are treated the exact same, right, as straight people, and they're not treated differently on the basis of the notion that they're gay, right?
It's just so that's going to be 10, 20, 30 years before it's
sure
there.
If it takes 10, 20, 30 years, it's fine, right? But we want a better society and a better
But
reality.
during that 10, 20, and 30 years, there's going to be resistance to the notion that you're shoving it down my kids' throats.
Yeah, appreciate the confetti. Thank you so much. We're not shoving it down throats. We're doing the same thing that other types of we do in schools all the time,
Movement.
right? Are we shoving anti-bullying messages down people's throats?
Yeah.
So do you have something wrong with that?
I mean, kind of.
So you're against anti-bullying messages?
Not as strong as I'm not against it, no, but I don't. Bullying is fucking life. Like, even with anti-bullying propaganda, this is ridiculous. I hate how you fucking bring this shit up. Like, I don't want to sit here and make the argument against anti-bullying. I don't have an issue with it, but it's too big of an issue. It's not too big of an issue. I don't think about it.
No, it's not dealt with enough, right? There's too much bullying that's allowed. Bullying is not okay. It needs to be called out. It needs to be stopped.
But at the same time, we're human beings.
Normalized. No, you saying we're human beings and saying it's like normal to happen is exactly what reinforces bullying and treating people like shit to happen in the first place. If you're fucking Christian and you want people to be love thy neighbor, you want to treat people in a good way, you'd be for anti-bullying
that's fine.
messages.
But you don't go say stop bullying because that's not how you.
Yes, we should. You don't just say stop bullying. You actually do something about it, right?
Sure. Okay.
I agree. So we need to do more than what we're currently doing now.
Again, one thing, there was an argument you were making about it was what was it, slapping your child abuse or something, or is
spanking?
What was the spanking abuse? In a perfect world, like, your belief in that, and okay, you can go back and say other things we should do to help prevent that and whatnot, but you were sitting there saying, well, you can go to therapy, you can sit down and educate your kid more on the shit, but half of society out here is living in poverty, working 2 jobs, relying on the school system to educate their kids because we're over here trying to make money. And this goes back to you not having kids and not even understanding that concept, where we're struggling, and it is fucking hard to teach our kids anything. It is hard to it's expensive to have a therapist, right? A lot of people can't afford therapists.
This is why I believe in universal health care. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's a different argument.
It's almost like my ideology takes into account this happening, because in other countries around the world, they have universal healthcare systems, and guess what?
I can agree to that. Universal healthcare would be great.
And they have better health outcomes overall. And we would be able to ensure that people have access to these resources and have access to being able to take care of their children rather than relying upon methods of abuse, right? And that's exactly why I'm against that type of stuff, because it leads to worse overall child development, right? If you want these children to be in a better circumstance, then you should not spank that child.
Well, my kid, when he was little, I told him not to touch the stove, right? And then he touched the stove, and then he never touched it again. There's times where there's discipline. I don't want we live in a country, there's a big road. The kid wants to wander out towards the road every fucking 2 seconds, 2 years old. There's there's abuse, and then there's corrective.
You have to make sure that your kids are in safe circumstances. That's your job as a parent to ensure that they are doing fine. If you are not, then you are being negligent, clearly speaking, right?
So they shouldn't be able to be outside. That's
not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that if they are in circumstances where they can get hurt, and if you have reason to believe that they do stuff like that, well, then you should be extraordinarily careful with making sure that that does not happen, right? They can be outside, you leave the door open, make sure you watch them, right? Make sure you're around them at times, right? That's what my parents did, right? My parents knew that, like, we were young and that we might do some bad stuff and, like, run out into the street, so that they would make sure that they were around us whenever we were going out.
You say that like your parents are perfect and that you're a perfect individual.
They weren't perfect. What I'm saying is that they did make sure, and they did things that are basic to be able to ensure that my safety is met.
Yeah, are they middle class? Were both parents working?
No, my mom wasn't working.
She has a stay-at-home. Oh, you had a
No.
stay-at-home mom. Well, there's a lot of people that don't have a stay-at-home mom. So
Yeah,
you
I
were
know,
very.
and they also had parents that did the exact same thing as my mom, right? Even if you're
There's.
not stay at home, you can still fulfill that particular capacity. It's a bare minimum notion of being a parent.
Yeah. I just gonna disagree with that. Like I
What do you
agree. I
mean? Like making
agree. I
sure that your
agree
kids
by
are
your.
safe?
No, that's just a cop out. I agree with most of what you're saying in the sense that, of course, I want my kids to be safe. Of course, I want every children's. But that's in a perfect utopia where we don't have life beating us down on top of us trying to make sure our child doesn't die by society, by the road, by electrical, by fucking outlets against the wall. You're just not putting everything into account. And there's times I believe that there's corrective discipline that kid's gonna be like, I'm not gonna do that again.
Yeah,
And there's limits to
actually,
that.
actually
Abuse is
spanking
abuse.
your kid leads them to a greater likelihood of that type of stuff happening. You know that, right? Like they're more likely to be aggressive, they're more likely to develop anxiety, PTSD, depression, they're more
Again,
likely
you're
to
going back to
develop
that perfect
antisocial
world. It's not a perfect
disorder.
world, but
This isn't a perfect
we're all.
world. This is exactly what we see within studies. I'm not saying we need to be perfect. What I'm saying is that we can make society better and we continue to make society better, irrespective of the notion that people think that we can't make society better. You're saying that we can't progress society because you're comfortable in the circumstance in which we are. Appreciate the little crime. Thank you so much. And it's hard for you to accept that reality can be different than what it is currently. But we
No,
constantly are
it's not
changing
hard for me
things.
to
We're
accept that
changing
reality can
things
be
more
different.
now than we ever have throughout history. With social media, we're able to literally communicate and change society way more than what's happened throughout society. That's why you see so many changes in the past 20, 30 years. That's why it's a completely different world that you lived in the past comparative to the world that I grew up in.
Just reading some of these comments. Don't hit your children. Would you hit what? Would you hit an adult? People hit adults all the time.
And you shouldn't
Sometimes
do that, right?
well, sometimes you should.
Only in self-defense.
Only in self-defense. If a person attacked my child, I'm beating the shit out of them.
That's self-defense.
That's not self-defense of myself.
It's a notion of self-defense, but I'll accept the idea that you don't consider it. It's still defensive or something I consider to be justified. But,
okay. Yeah. There's plenty of times it's justified to punch somebody in the face.
like you are responsible for your child, so I would consider that's a notion of self-defense that exists. But
What if it was someone else's child getting pummeled in the face by an adult? Would you
I still think that
justify it?
depends on. Okay, so when we say self-defense, what are we saying? We're saying that we're defending from an
Self?
aggressor.
I mean,
So it's
myself?
defending another individual. So I don't know if I would consider it self-defense then, but it would just be
Exactly. There we go. Yeah, I agree with that.
defense. Like that's just semantical.
Yeah. But we're always just going to disagree on half the subjects. But there is common ground. I do hope the world does get better. I hate that you sit here and make money off of just pissing people off. I don't know if it's the best way.
This isn't for that, right? I do this because I genuinely think that this is making things better for people, right? I genuinely think that talking about these things, opening up this communication, progresses people's belief systems, make people like significantly more critical when it comes to these circumstances, educates people on these different types of things. It gets people into the fold, right? This is how I got into the fold of things. If there wasn't a situation of debating on the internet, I wouldn't be in these concepts right now. I wouldn't be engaging with these topics. I wouldn't be anywhere near as knowledgeable as I am right now when it relates to these topics. And I'm not that very knowledgeable now. There's still a lot for me to learn. Appreciate the money gun. Thank you so much. But the
I never
point
said I
is,
punched my kid burger.
the point is to get people into these different types of things. And I hopefully I can help people do that. And again, like I didn't start doing this for money or anything like that. I didn't make money on this for years of doing this hours every single day, just debating people all the time. I did this because I really love doing this, and I think that it actually does good stuff for people. Thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate it. Like the money and stuff like that came about after I developed a platform for a long time.
No, I agree. Again, I guess it's being. I don't know how I want to word this. It's just we were designed, in my opinion, and there's a lot of people out there that believe that we were designed, and created. And when you look at it in that light, there's only one way to procreate. Well, I guess there's multiple ways to procreate, but there's one natural way to procreate. And that's the way I look at it. So anything outside of that is wrong. I'm not going to love anybody else differently. I'm not going to sit there and say you're going to hell. I'm going to love you. I'm going to be your friend. I'm not even going to I have plenty of friends that are all over every spectrum of religion, beliefs, atheists, and all this other stuff that I can live with and be friends with and don't have any issue with, because as a Christian, I sin myself, and all of my sins are just as equal as what I would perceive anybody else's sins to be. It's just I have an issue when it starts that slippery slope, when I am worried about it, and I might be wrongly worried about the slippery slope of it just getting way out of hand and the nuclear family just going away completely. And I'm going to sit there and argue my side of it, I guess.
One thing the nuclear family doesn't take into account is outside communities, types, and structures, right? Because when the family fades and the family's not doing good, right, that leads people to be isolated where they have no community, no sense of community, right? That's why it's better to have, right, not only just family structures. I appreciate the head mustache, thank you so much, but community, right? Community is extraordinarily important, and we deny it all the time, and that's why people are socially isolated, and that's why people get in circumstances where there are greater predispositions towards harming themselves, right, harming other people, right, because fundamentally community and being around each other allows us for us to personalize, empathize with people, and make sure that we care for other people, right? It's hard for us to care for other people if we don't engage with them.
Yeah, but what does it have to do? What does it have to do outside of the nuclear family? That there's something other than the nuclear family?
Yeah, it's there are notions outside of the nuclear family that need to be reinforced as well, right? And that's what I'm referencing now.
Sure.
Is we're reinforcing the outside broader sense of acceptance in community for people that should be accepted. This isn't something that is like wrong. It's not something that's bad for you to be gay, right? It's something that you should be accepted for. Thank you for the cap. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And that's not to mention or to say that we should accept other things that are bad, right? I'm not arguing to accept people who engage with minors, right? I'm not arguing that. No one, I think, should argue that. I think that's very wrong, right? Clearly, people always bring that up when it relates to this type of stuff, right? We're not just saying that because something is natural or because you have something in which you love, right? That means that you should act upon that. We're saying in adult consenting relations, there's nothing wrong with people engaging with each other. And the distinction between like my view and like other people's views and your view is the fact that you hold to a particular religion and I'm not holding to that religion, right?
Yeah.
So the basis of your claim relies upon that religion being accurate and prescribing to us what's right and what's wrong about morality, right? But it seems like this is founded on a personal belief, right, in a faith claim, not necessarily a justification.
Probably I don't know, probably my upbringing too, but before I was a Christian, I was only saved 6 years ago in my belief, but prior to that, I'm 38. So prior to that, and it is society that would probably have made me as a child growing up think that it's weird and wrong. But yeah, I don't know how we got so far off topic.
Oh yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about, Arad? Thank you for the little crown. I appreciate it. All right, appreciate coming on, man.
Yeah, good talk, man. Maybe next time.
For sure. All right, everyone, if you like my content, follow me if you haven't already. Everyone, tap that screen. Thank you for the night. I appreciate it, Lauren. W with the night. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the gifts, everyone, today so far. I really appreciate it, everyone. By the way, everyone, we are suspended on my main account right now, everyone. We are going to be back by the 22nd. Thank you for the corgi. I appreciate it, Matt. Thank you so much. So make sure to follow me here if you haven't already. This is where I'm going to be until then. Thank you for the hand tower. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And this is where I'll be in case I get banned any other time outside of that context. Thank you for the confetti. I appreciate it. It was for misinformation, apparently. No, sorry, I haven't. I just had to cough. Like I was like choking on like some saliva or something. But let me go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree. Again, if you like my content, follow me if you haven't already, y'all. All right, let me see if it accepts this person. COVID, Parker? No, I do not have COVID. Do not have COVID. But yeah, again, make sure to follow me if you haven't already, everyone. It definitely is going to help on this account to help me get out to more people and whatnot. Appreciate everyone. Appreciate everyone. Has Dean been live today, everyone? Did Dean even go live? I know he's been busy recently, but I didn't know he wouldn't like be going live at all. He's not going live like around the time like when I'm on my second account. That's wild. But yeah, let me go to the next person. Everyone, it's not accepting this person, so give me a second, everyone. I'm probably gonna get like one or two more people on, maybe, and then we will get off for today, everyone. He was live yesterday. No, he said he wasn't. Oh, that's tough. That's truly unfortunate. For some reason, it's not accepting this person. But yeah, again, if you haven't followed me already, make sure to follow me if you haven't already, everyone. Yo, Dan, thank you for the travel with you. I appreciate it, Dan. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Well, in my view, yes.
Why so?
I mean, well, firstly, I don't believe it's like a choice because most people say it's a choice to be gay, but I don't believe that. I just believe it's environmental, so like it's the environment around those people that make them choose. And I also believe you're not born gay, because most people say that. So
Okay, so I have a question, right? What's your birth year?
2004.
Okay, for sure. And you said you're 18?
Yeah, I am.
So what's your birthday?
17th of October 2004.
Appreciate the boxing glove. Thank you so much. Okay, that matches up. So you said it's not a choice, right? So I have a question. Could you choose to find me sexually arousing right now?
I mean, I probably could, but I choose not to, I guess.
Okay. Could you choose to find your mother sexually arousing right now?
I mean, yes, but that's immoral.
Yeah. Could you choose to find a chicken sexually arousing right now?
I mean, probably not, because that's immoral too.
You couldn't choose?
I know.
So you could choose to find your mom attractive.
No.
That's something you should probably question yourself, man. But
not...
when it relates to, so if sexuality isn't a choice when it relates to you finding a chicken arousing, right, then why do you assume that it is a choice for other individuals?
That's just the environment. It's more about the mindset. Like, you gotta remember, our brains work by like chemicals and stuff like that. So like, if we have more like of certain chemicals, then our brain's gonna act upon that, and then that means like we're not gonna be like balanced that way. So like
it's determined by the chemicals in our brain, not by our choices?
I mean, you can choose it, but are people mentally like ill because they choose to be mentally ill? Like,
no, people don't choose to be mentally ill, and also
exactly, that's my point.
And also, you're not mentally ill for being gay. So again, right?
That's...
First of all, you have to justify to me that's a choice, and second of all, you have to justify to me that people who are gay are mentally ill, right? One, in terms of the choice, right? You literally didn't respond to my point when it related to that.
What's your point?
To the cat, thank you so much. Right? If you can't choose to find a chicken sexually arousing, what makes you think that people can choose to find other things sexually arousing?
I didn't say you could choose. I said being gay is not a choice.
Yeah, you said it's not a choice. Or you said it's not a choice.
Yeah, I did.
I thought you said it was a choice.
No, I didn't say that. I said it's not a choice and it's based upon an environment. So like if you're going...
Okay. So it's my bad. I apologize. Apparently I heard you wrong. When it relates to it not being a choice, right? If it's not a choice and it's environment, right? What makes you think that it's environment, right? Because for example, right, my sister is gay, right? And we grew up in an environment that was conservative Christian, and Iowa didn't tell you that it was okay to be gay. So what environment pushed her to be gay?
I mean, did she be like, was she gay back then though? Or
yeah, she's been gay. She's been gay for her whole life. I appreciate the little crown. Thank you so much.
I mean, it kind of comes back to your like brain tendencies. So like if you have more chemicals in like your forget the chemical, but like serotonin, I think it is, you probably have more attraction against like the different gender. But it's more environmental, because if you have a kid growing up in school and he or she has friends that are like...
Serotonin attraction with gender? I'm so confused. What?
Do you believe it's environmental?
No, I don't think that being gay is environmental. I think that there can be environmental influences behind being straight and being gay, right? But I think that it's predominantly with being straight and being gay biologically determined.
Why do you think it's biologically though? Like,
Because even in many environments in which people have like a negative connotation towards being gay, there still are people that are gay. Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. Like, if there was something in society that, like, oh, it's bad to be this, you wouldn't want to be that, right? You wouldn't choose to do that.
yeah, then why?
So clearly speaking, it's not some choice that people are, volitionally engaging in. Appreciate the Franktastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Dan.
I mean, I can accept your like ideals because like you're speaking upon facts, but then again, you gotta remember that like they weren't accepted a while ago, and like so many other things aren't accepted these days. So like, are you saying they can be accepted in the future, or
what
like
things can be accepted?
Like anything that we think is immoral now. Do you reckon
I don't think anything should be accepted. Clearly.
Then why do you accept gay?
Because there's no reason as to why it should be considered wrong, right? When it relates to other things, I would give you reasoning, right? When it relates to, say, P3DOs, right? Because minors can't consent. When it relates to bestiality, because animals can't consent outside of the context of humans. When it relates to any other thing, I can give you reasoning. Would you like to provide reasoning?
You're basing your opinion off sexual desire, though.
What do you mean? Thank you for the cowboy hat. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're saying it's right to be gay based off someone's
I'm saying it's okay to be gay. Right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. The same way I'm not saying it's right or wrong to be straight.
Yeah, but gays can't reproduce, so like only they can do it.
Neither can infertile people. Appreciate the gamer cat. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but we're not talking about infertile people. We're talking about gay people.
Yeah, if I engage in intercourse with a woman who's infertile, is that wrong? I appreciate that fruit hat. Thank you so much.
No, because they're infertile. They can't help.
But I'm not. I could be with someone who's fertile, but I decided to be with someone who's infertile.
Yeah, that's your choice, though. That's
okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No.
Okay, so what's wrong with people engaging in gay intercourse?
Well, intercourse is meant to result in a child. If you're doing it for desire, then sure, that's your choice. But were we made to like do it with the opposite gender? Like, think about it. Like,
I don't think that we were like purposefully made for one thing or the other. I think that we just happen to have characteristics that are like this.
So you reckon we're just made imperfect?
Made imperfect. I don't think that we have like a. I don't think we have a creator.
Oh.
Like a god or something.
Why don't you think that then?
I don't think there's good reason to.
You're believing in facts, though. Isn't a faith meant to be based off, like, against your faith? You know, it's a faith for a reason.
I think faith is nonsense, right? If we're talking about by itself, right? In the sense that like I can believe in anything.
And how do you believe we came to be, us humans?
I don't know. I don't know how we came to be. I mean, evolution is going to be like how we developed our characteristics. So I believe in the Big Bang, things like that, right? But like, I don't know where all of the existence came from.
I mean, if you believe in the Big Bang and like stuff like that, then what, like, created the Big Bang? Like, if you know what I mean. Like it wasn't just nothing.
I don't know what led to the Big Bang, right? I appreciate the Gabriel. Thank you so much. All right, Dan, I appreciate the Garland. Thank you. I don't know what led to the Big Bang, right? But I can give an explanation that's more likely to be true than a theist explanation. I just don't know. So I don't really form conclusions on it.
Yeah, so you're basically
what I think it is.
You're judging your opinion of facts, which is like, that's understandable, but that's just because like that's basically what faith is, though. Like, if you just know everything about God and like know why He designed us and like why being gay and all that's immoral and stuff like that, then we would be perfect. We would know everything, and we wouldn't have to debate and like have laws and stuff. Would be perfect human beings. So like,
Yeah, I would expect that we're perfect if your belief is true. If God is perfect and He's a perfect creator, I would expect there to be a perfect creation. The same way that if there's a perfect test taker, I expect there to be perfect test taken or perfect test scores. If there's a perfect free throw shooter, I expect there to be perfect free throws made. If there's a perfect goal kicker in soccer, right, I expect there to be perfect amount of goals kicking or made, right?
but there was a perfect creation, and that was the garden, and then in that garden was where we fell.
Well, then we would have never corrupted, right? Like, are you Christian?
Yeah, but yeah, I am.
So you believe Jesus is perfect, right?
Yeah, He's God.
And Jesus was tempted by the devil, right?
Yeah,
Appreciate the crown. Thank you
the
so much.
devil tried
But
to
he never
take.
succumbed to that temptation. Why? Because he's perfect, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he's perfect, thank you for the confetti. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If he's perfect, and because he's perfect, that means that he doesn't succumb to temptation. Well, if other entities are perfect, then they won't succumb to temptation either.
I can give you that, but have you read the Bible, or do you like?
Yes, I've read many aspects of the Bible, not the whole thing, though.
Then you would know that God has plans for a new world.
Okay.
In Revelation. And what does He say about that new world? It will be perfect, and like all that make it to heaven will be in that. So you can't base it off this world, because if everything was perfect and we lived by God's laws and like design, then would we have free will? We would just kind of be
Yeah, we could still have free will. So look here, I'll explain how we can still have free will. Right? So essentially God is picking from the different worlds that exist in which we all have free will. All right. And there's different probabilities of us engaging in different action. There's probably like a, I don't know, 72% probability that what's it called? That I'm gonna eat cinnamon toast crunch this morning, and a 20-something% probability that I'm gonna eat right, like Lucky Charms. Okay, if that's the case, right, does that then I mean, we're gonna then multiply that by the different types of actions that I would engage in, and then we're gonna come up with some like end probability, end result of like this particular reality happening comparative to the other ones. Does that make sense at all? I want to make sure you're caught up.
I mean, that kind of doesn't make sense, to be honest.
So here, I'll try to, okay. So is there a probability that right now I could engage in the right action, in the correct actions?
Yeah.
Okay, is there a probability that today I could always do the right thing? Appreciate the glowing jellyfish. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, if I were to ask you that question every single day of my life, would the question be or the answer be the same?
I mean, yeah. But
okay, so there's some minuscule probability that I'm always going to do the right thing every single day of my life.
Yep.
Okay, and that's true for every human on the planet.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so there's at least one reality that exists amongst the infinite realities in which every single human being does the right thing in every single scenario freely.
Possibly.
Yes, that does exist. And God sees every single world that exists. And amongst all the worlds that exist, thank you for the little crown, I appreciate it, thank you so much. God sees this one world where there's free will and there's no sin, right? And then God sees another world, the world we exist in right now, and there's free will and there's sin, right? So are you telling me that God preferred the reality where there's free will and sin over the reality in which there's free will and no sin?
I mean, I'm kind of confused about your reality, because you're talking about other worlds when there's only one world, if you know what I mean. Like,
Aiko. Sorry, what was that? Sorry, what did you say?
I'm a bit confused because you're like talking about other worlds when there's only one world. Like this one that we're on.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the different types of worlds that God could have created. Appreciate the "you're sweet." Thank you so much.
But when you think about it, like, without like going on to your opinion, God made the garden and He made our world, and Satan tempted Eve to bite from the apple, and then they fell. They got kicked out of the garden.
Again, they would have never succumbed to that temptation if they're perfect. And the same
Yeah,
way that God or Jesus was tempted by the devil and never succumbed to that temptation, the same thing would also be true for Adam and Eve if they were perfect.
but like if you made a world, would you want everyone to just like be in order and like have no free will and be like just be live
Oh
by
no, they
the
have free will in this world, remember? Because again, there's a probability that even given you have free will, that
no,
you're going
but
to do the right thing in every scenario,
free
and that's true for
will.
everyone. So there's at least one world where we all do the right thing in every single scenario.
But what's free will if it's not good or bad? That's not free will. That's
No,
just like,
there's still good and bad that exists that you could engage in. You just always decide to do the right thing.
I mean, that's kind of forceful though if you think about it. Like, you can't just always be good. Free will is good or bad. It's not just one.
Wait, you can always be good. Why can't you? Remember, you told me that there's a probability that you can always do the right thing,
You
right?
can, but that doesn't mean everyone has to. Like,
Oh, I'm
God,
not saying they have to. What I'm saying is that under God's preferences, God is all good. God would prefer a world where there's not sin over a world where there's sin. All
yeah,
things else constant. Okay?
but
So if we're
God,
holding free will constant in these worlds, and we're going to get it in either world, right? And the relevant category is whether or not there's sin. Well, clearly God's going to pick the world where there's not sin because God has a preference against sin.
I mean, I get where you're coming from because everyone argues the same point about Christianity. Like, they just say, "Oh, why does God let this happen?" and blah blah. But
That's
when
kind of
you,
not what I'm saying right now. I'm
but
arguing like kind of differently. Do you kind of I'm saying that like you can freely always do the right thing.
yes, but when you think about it, God's not forcing us to be Christian and live a good life. He gave us free will. And wait before you talk, because I know
Because I kind of I just established this point because
I know,
it's
but
not God that's
I know,
determining your action. It's God
but
that's
you're not.
selecting the world that you determined.
Yeah, I get that, but you're not letting me finish.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you
Um,
finish. I apologize.
he gave us free will, so if we want to go by God's laws and design, we can. But like, you got to realize that we have a choice. So like, at the end of the day, when this world ends, he's choosing the ones that did right and did good by his like ideal. He's not like, we're not a perfect creation, but we are in the sense that if we abide by him and follow him, then he chooses us. The others, it's in the Bible. It says, you, it, your reward will be in heaven, but it also mentions that the ones that live wealthy here won't live wealthy in heaven, and the ones that like basically, if you live a good life by your ideal here, like you could be gay, you could do anything like unlawful here, but you think that's good and right for you, then sure, that's like what you think, but he's gonna be choosing the ones right by him. So like, you can live your happy life here by your imagination and ideals, but at the end of the day, what we believe is right is not always right to him, if you know what I mean. So like, I'm not saying being gay is wrong, like in that sense. Like, if you want to be gay or anyone else wants to be gay, they can, but because God's
Hey man, I literally kind of I feel like you're not getting my point at all.
can you clarify it then?
Yeah. Sorry. Here, I had my response and I kind of just forgot. I'm not gonna lie. I literally just had it. I do apologize. You can finish what you were just saying. I literally had a response in my head and I literally like saw something and I forgot. Like, or you could restate what you just said and I would remember.
Basically, I'm trying to clarify that like, I have nothing against gay people or like anything like that. I actually love
It was
hearing your
prior to
debate,
that.
but
Mm-hmm.
I just reckon, because based off how I'm Christian and how I believe, and God says it's not okay to be like gay, it's based off the fact that God didn't create us to have sexual desires against our opposite gender. He created us to procreate and make
No,
disciples for
there was a
him.
different point.
Well, I'm trying to get to this point too. We were like made to reproduce, right?
I don't think that we were like made with intentions to like reproduce. I think that we just happen to reproduce given that evolution works a particular way. But that's not like from a mind or anything like that. So in a
Well,
sense, it doesn't have like a purpose behind the happening. Like that's like intrinsic behind the universe because that would require a mind.
well, I believe we were designed to reproduce. That's why we were giving our genitals and stuff. But like we were designed in the sense that we should like sleep together and like do that stuff to reproduce. And sure, like you can also do that for like desire, but we were also made to do it in a loving way. We weren't made to like make protection and all that, because like that's basically against God's wishes in a way too. We weren't made to like do it with the opposite gender, because that's all desire. And if you've read the Bible, then you'd know that the devil consists of desire. He pushes people against their desires. So all the people that like do wrong in the world, it's because they desired to do that. So like, sure, people can think it's right in their sense, but at the end of the day, and even if you don't believe or anyone else doesn't believe, that doesn't mean it's right in any way. Like, God is right, He's true, and anyone who believes otherwise clearly.
Do you want to respond to like the argument that I gave like earlier? Like the free will based argument. Like it's not that God is determining the action at all, right? It's the fact that the humans are determining this action. It's just God knows which one is going to be in accordance with the preferences, right, that he has. So if God is able to select any world at all, or if God shows what reality we exist in, well, then clearly speaking, that's going to tell us that that God would have picked this reality, right? But given that God preferred the reality where there's sin over the reality in which there's no sin, all else constant, right? Given that they both have free will, right? That would tell us that would result in a contradiction. Again, God has a preference for a world in which God has a preference against. Because again, sin is something that God has a preference against.
Do we know God? Like, do we understand Him?
We understand what the context of the Bible. And given what we understand, we can absolutely say this.
Yeah, but we base perfection off what we believe, don't we?
No, this is not on what I believe. This is what I remember what I was saying. It's not based upon what I'm saying or what I believe. It's 100% based upon God's own internal notion of what perfection is. Okay. I don't give a fuck about sin, right? I don't care about sex before marriage. I don't care about the fact that someone lied about there being a cookie jar in a room. Okay. I don't care about that sin. God cares about that. Okay. That's not a flaw to me. It's a flaw to God.
Yeah, but if we don't understand God, like we don't even understand how He's here. Like everyone argues to say that God was created by another God, and God can only be removed by another God. But that's our understanding, because we don't understand. We're not like a God ourselves. We're humans, so we only understand what He's given us through the Bible and what we've learnt through history and stuff like that. But we do not understand what perfect is. So in His eyes, we are perfect.
We do. We know that Jesus is perfect, right? We know what's considered good. We know what the 10 Commandments are. Okay.
Yeah.
So we know what to fulfill.
Yeah.
We know that we're not perfect. That's what's relevant. We know that we sin. And again, the idea is that there's a probability in which we will not sin. In doing so freely as well. This isn't, again, God determining our action. This is us determining our action. God seeing that world, and then God deciding to create that world where we determine that action that way. It was again us determining. It was still self-determinant in terms of us.
Can I ask why you believe being gay is right?
I think it's morally neutral, the same way being straight is morally neutral. Right? It's not right or wrong.
I mean, in like if we like forget about faith for a second, I would take your argument as true because like there would be nothing stopping me from believing that because there would be no faith. Would only have us like our laws and stuff and what we believe. But because I believe in Christianity, then to me it would be wrong, and to like all Christians. And I seen one of your videos, and you argued the fact that the garden, like Adam and Eve, is just like a fictionary made up story, and you based that off like
Evolution.
you
Again, this
based,
is you just went away from. I just want to clarify. You just went away from the critique I just posited.
I don't see how I did because I mentioned what you mentioned too.
Did you? I just thought that was a pivot. I don't know.
I'll shorten my point of view. Basically, if we didn't have faith, then I'd accept your terms that it's neutral. But like for anyone who doesn't believe, sure, it's right.
No, but you pivoted from the contradiction I just brought up.
I'm legit mentioning it right now, though.
You weren't there, but okay.
Maybe because you're butting in mid convo, but basically, without faith, it's neutral. But like for you, because you're not a believer, or like anyone else that's in the chat that's not a believer, to them it's neutral or right, seeming to them. But like you can't base your opinion off human knowledge, because we don't even know where we came from. The fact that we believe in God or like evolution is because we're confused about where we came from. So we can't base what we believe is right or wrong. So the fact that I'm basing mine off something I believe / that's why it's called a faith is because that's what I understand, and that's what I believe. That's why I believe it's wrong, because the Bible clearly states that it's wrong. But I'm not saying it's wrong for anyone that doesn't believe.
I'm confused. When did you answer my question?
I don't believe there is an answer, if I'm going to be honest. You can't fight you can't fight an argument with impossible an impossible answer, because you don't believe in God. So like, how am I meant to like?
No, I gave you a contradiction. Do you want to respond to like the contradiction? Because again, you said you were responding to it, and you like were like getting like a little like irritated at me, like cutting you off because you weren't answering the question, because you clearly aren't answering the question, and you're acting like you were answering the question.
What was the question then?
Again, it was about the contradiction.
Well, what was your contradiction?
The choice that God has between the reality with free will and sin, and the reality with free will and no sin. The preference for a world that God has a preference against. Do you remember that at all?
Then we wouldn't have a world with free will, though. Like, you can't argue that point, because free will.
And I remember we already went through this part of the conversation. Remember, there's a probability that I would do the right thing in all scenarios. So this is still self-determinate.
Honestly, like, you keep arguing the same point, same as I, but like, you legit can't have a perfect world. Like, just because we believe God is perfect, we can't state that his design isn't perfect. We can't judge his design. Like, we are perfect in his eyes, even though
we're judging based upon the characteristics that he literally gave. So like I'm not using my own standard. I'm using the standard that you believe in.
If we had a perfect world, would that be perfect?
I don't know what that's asking.
Well, imagine a world where we all did right and we all lived by what we seem as perfection. So like, we all
not what I seem. No, God's view of perfection.
But let me finish. if we had a world where you wake up, have breakfast, lunch, dinner, go to work, blah blah, have kids, and like live by that or ideal, that's not perfect. That's living by God's desire for perfection. He gave us free will, so we choose to live by that. We choose to do all these things, but that's where desire comes in, because people didn't just like, they weren't born to like kill, they weren't born to do all these things. It was the desire that brought them to it, the environment around them that made them like, say someone got bullied, he grew up and
If
like,
it's all, the issue with this is that if it's all environment, where does that begin?
when you're born, when you
No, but
start.
like that, where did that, how did that environment get to that place in the first place? Because if all those people who made up that environment had to be, made that way due to the environment, well, then where did the environment originate from?
Well, what's a garden? That's in a environment, and we
The
have.
garden. So God created the garden in a way that made it so that they were going to be socialized in a manner that was bad.
No, it's an environment, and that's. Did Satan go to them as a person, or
So there we go.
to?
Satan. So God created Satan, which was meant to corrupt them.
No. Satan went against God's wishes. He also had free will, same as all the other angels
But if he
have.
was perfect, then he would have not done the bad thing. Or if he had to be socialized that way, who would have socialized him that way? God?
Yeah, but God gave us choices.
Wait, God socialized him in that bad way?
No.
Okay, then how did he become bad if he had to be socialized? Appreciate the Connor. Thank you so much.
The angels also had free will, and I'm trying to say that they.
Yeah, but like, remember, using their free will, in order for them to do the bad thing, they would have to be socialized that way. So who would socialize Satan to be that way if there's no one that's bad?
But there isn't a person or being that has to be bad. Good and bad just.
So it's not socialization or environment. It's self-determinate.
No, because God made them to be perfect. He also gave them choice and free will, same as us. We are technically no different to angels. So
Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much.
Satan, like Lucifer, chose to defy God and try to be greater than him. So he fell. He also gave choices to the other angels. He asked them to there's a story about lanterns, and he basically said, like, don't leave to go get oil or whatever. So the ones that did leave, they got kicked out of heaven, and the ones that stayed, obviously were accepted. So he's always given choices, good or bad. Like, he knows what's good and he knows what's bad, so he's given us choices. He gave Adam and Eve a choice to not eat from the forbidden tree, and their desire to eat it, to be like God, to see all things, to know all things, was their desire. So that wasn't right. So they wanted to be like God, same as Satan. So like, you can't argue the point that he wants a perfect world when we are perfect by his designs. But like, free will is perfect if we choose to be good. If we choose to be bad, then that's again our choice, and that's our design of perfection. We can choose to do all these things, but that doesn't mean we're going to end up in heaven. We can choose to be gay, and we can think that's right for us, but
again, we don't choose to be gay, right? Could you choose to find me sexually arousing right now?
no.
No, so if you can't choose to find me sexually arousing, how come some people in the chat are able to right now?
Because they're gay.
Okay, well, and they didn't choose. Okay.
That's not really what I meant when I said choose.
And earlier in the conversation, you said, "Oh, I didn't say that they can choose. I said that they can't choose." You went back on that again.
No.
But yeah, no, is there anything else you want to add or talk about, bro?
No.
All right, appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, good.
All right, everyone, I'm gonna get off here for today. I'm gonna be on tomorrow, probably. I don't know. I'll try to figure out when I'll be live. Maybe like 11 or 1. Maybe around that time, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. By the way, everyone, I am suspended on my main account right now until the 22nd. So the 22nd, I'm going to be back and I'll be on my main account debating. So make sure to go to my main account, follow me. You could check out the video I just posted there yesterday. Help comment and stuff like that. Hashtag bring Parker back. But yeah, I can't. That's so cringe. But yeah, no. If you disagree, everyone, or I mean, not disagree. If you want to help me out, everyone, make sure to do that. I appreciate everyone so much. Follow me if you haven't already, everyone. By the way, everyone, before I get off, I'm gonna send everyone over to someone's live. Thank you for the hand, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're gonna go over to Kenzie's live right now. Everyone, spam Parker Raid, spam love from Parker for Miss Kenzie right now. Spam Parker Raid, spam love from Parker. You already know the deal. Love everyone so much. I'll see everyone later. Everyone go look up Kenzie, spam Parker Raid, spam love from Parker. Miss_Kenzie. Spam Parker Raid, spam love from Parker. Love everyone so much. I'll see everyone later. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Good night, y'all.